Oh my gosh, Ryan. We're chatting comic books today. It's gonna be a fun time. Pretty excited about it.
Got a big stack of comics here.
Yeah, you know how it be. We're gonna be taking a second though. Let the chat roll on in. Enjoy the music of Windy Nights, courtesy of Zorro. Do us a favor. I want to hear how we sound. Is this volume doing bueno?
Can you hear me?
Is the music okay?
Yeah, what's your opinion on this music or any music?
Yeah.
What do you think about
A
all
little
music?
A little bit lower.
The what now?
Yeah,
like this?
perfect. Yeah, just like that. Hey, let us know how the music sounds good. You know, if it's loud enough.
Tell us it's good.
Yeah, I won't be playing the whole time, but I'm just curious.
We're going to play the entire podcast.
The entire time. Yo, thanks for being here, Comic Fam. We're going to be chatting some comic books today, for sure. We're going to start podcast 46 here in just a moment. Very excited to be here with you.
I already forgot what number it was.
I did too, man.
When do we stop counting? At a certain point, it's just like, it's the podcast.
I know, right? But it's good to see you guys. It's the pre-show. It's the pre-show.
Are we cutting this out? Is that how this works?
No, it's not. It won't be cut out.
No more cuts.
No more cuts,
We're
man.
live.
We're live, man. We're in. We're in it to win.
Anything we say is now on the internet forever.
That's right.
So be careful.
No, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let the chat trickle in. Hi to MJ Comics. Good to see you on here. We got John from John's Comics with Kids here. Thank you for being here, my brother. Shout out to Kate and Charlie. We got Rev J. We got Sergeant Mick Lovin. Obist. He's here. We have Marlon Sanchez.
I see Burke family.
Burke family's in the house.
There's Power Rangers, so there's got to be the Burke Nasty,
The Burke Nasty's here, yo.
as he was formerly known.
All right. Oh, you know who else is here? Come on. Come and say hi.
Uh-oh.
We got Butch. Butch in the house. He just woke up from his nap. He knows the song's almost over. And when the song's almost over, it means the chat is filling up and we're going to start podcast 46.
We could just hang out here with Butch for like 2 hours.
What do you think, Butch? Is that what you want to do, Butch? You want to be on the podcast all podcast long? I think he does.
Is he trained to look right at the camera?
All right.
He should be. All right.
Oh, we are back.
Yes, we are.
Podcast number 46 with Fire Guy Ryan.
Started the fire!
How's my brother doing?
Pretty good.
Dude,
Good to be back.
I'm glad you're back. I missed you, man.
It's been a while.
Well, you know, we're here to chat about some paper. It's all about that paper, boy. We're talking about comic books. We're talking about funny books. We're talking about the things in those
You
damn
gotta get that
pages.
Paperboy on the soundboard. We said that last time, but that was like 6 months ago or something since I've been here last. So like, I forgot until right now, but that'd be good. That'd be good for the board.
I'm thinking we need to add it. Hit the subscribe button. Slap that like button. You know we got giveaways on deck. It's about to get crazy, Comic Fam.
Writing your names down.
That's right.
That's how we track things here.
The way that we do it here on the Bags and Boards podcast live is, you know, I like to think of it like all new Marvel now, .1, there's an exclamation mark.
Right.
When we do live, it's like Bags and Boards podcast live. That's kind of how I think about it in my head, in my noggin, with the brain waves. So what we're going to do today is talk about some paper. We're going to talk about books that we are ordering, that you can still order, previews kind of stuff. We're going to get into 10 for 10, like 10 books that you can get under 10. I think we picked 10.
There's got to be a title.
In this
for that
moment,
at
I'm
some
like,
point. 10 for, I don't know. I'm not good with titles, but we're going to talk about some comics.
I couldn't remember whether or not we picked 10 books or not. But you know what I do know?
We did some. There was a number of books.
There's a number of books, and we're very excited to chat with you about them. We also did some reading, because that's what comic books are about. You know, what's actually on the inside beyond the cover and inside the bag and board, you know, all that good stuff. So as mentioned, make sure to chat it up in the comments, because in the chat, what we like to do, and by the way, I'm going to switch this from top chat. I realized that was one of our
Live
mistakes
chat,
last
always.
time. Yeah,
There you go.
so we can see all of your chats as we are live. We may not be reading them as we go, because
It's
we're doing a
small
show.
and there's a glare. I can't see all. I usually read them all, but I can't do that right
We do what we can. We do what we
now. I
can.
think he twisted the monitor so I couldn't see you guys on purpose.
But what we will do
Sneaky devil.
is we are going to be doing giveaways And the way we do giveaways here, we just pick them at random. We're going to look at the chat, and we're going to go, oh, Quinn, Colin, this ain't IG. Hold on. So can't smash those hearts, but I can hit that like button. Guess what?
What?
You're right, it is an IG, but he just won a giveaway. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Quinn.
All right, so Quinn Calling, he just won a free comic book day edition of Stray Dogs signed by Ren. This is the color flattener of the creative team who produces Stray Dogs. We have more than one on deck, but Quinn just won this by commenting because he's here. And those are here, those that join us live on the mic. And
That's how you win the giveaways.
That's how we did the giveaways here, yo. All right.
That makes more. Yeah.
So congrats. And the way that you can claim that, Quinn, and for anyone who wins giveaways on our show, link in the description. Contact us via bagsandboardsgiveaway@gmail.com. That email is in the description. Include what you won. Include the full name and shipping address so we can get them to you. And let's start the show. We are going to begin our show today with chatting about some Grails. What? Okay, so this is what happened. Story time. So I acquired a Grail. All right. Sometimes Grails, when they are presented, like when they come out of nowhere, they always do. I said that so convoluted because I'm trying to waste time, tiempo, because I need to pull up some pictures. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
bada bing.
okay.
Okay,
Now I see what you're
so
doing.
Grails. We're talking about Grails right now. Ryan,
Yes.
you collect comics. You've been kind of almost forced to start collecting comics because
I don't even want to.
this guy doesn't want to, but then you know what ends up happening is people buy you comics.
When we go off camera, Tom like slaps me around a bit and says, "You will read."
You will buy. You always read, man.
That's true.
And I'm always trying to make you read. Read The Crow.
I don't think I have. I still haven't read that. I don't think I have a Grail.
You don't have a Grail yet?
I don't think I do.
You like that one comic that you're just like, I need that one day. We're essentially in a constant training mode for you, Ryan.
I want to get every Green Lantern book.
See, that's a good goal.
Yeah, but there's not like a Grail.
Well, then I would say Green Lantern 1.
Sure.
You know, not Golden Age. I know you don't care for Alan Scott, but I'm talking
Still
like
counts, I guess.
you know,
but I'm
Hal
never
Jordan
gonna-
goodness.
Whatever. Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, we just figured out your Grail today. Congratulations,
goodness.
Ryan. Ryan just added his first Grail to his list. But Ryan, you are a reader and you are a collector and you are looking for more sets and stuff. And there's going to be a day where Green Lantern 1 is going to just like, boop, it's going to be there. And you're going to go, I think I need to get that.
Where'd that come from?
It's too good of a deal. I'm going to have to get it. I want to hear in the chat. I want to know what your Grails are because I just threw money down this week and secured a Grail that I didn't think I would ever not only be able to purchase, but have an opportunity to purchase in my lifetime. And it's on its way. Now, I'm not going to talk about that here today because that is not in my hands yet. And I want it to be here. I want it to be real. I want it to be present at the table. And I'll share that with the community. So, mind you, hit the subscribe button because that's coming soon. However, I did acquire a Grail within the last year that I realized I only shared on my Instagram page. So I felt like we should probably discuss that first before I hit you with the second Grail that I never thought I'd own. What do you think, Ryan?
Let's do it. I'm here.
So fortunately, because Ryan doesn't like handling really expensive stuff, which is totally fine. And I also wasn't looking to start manhandling this on the mic. We have pictures of what we're going to talk about here, but I do have
It's
in
there.
my
We manhandled it out in the living room before we went live.
in my storefolio. This is one of my Grails. I can't believe I never talked about Grails on the mic, like my own personal ones. Like sometimes I bring up stuff for my PC.
Probably have.
Yeah, but
I don't remember, but I don't remember anything.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about.
Tip it over like that, man.
That's
Careful.
okay. I'm being careful. I know what I'm doing. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna chat about this Grail that I have, and I have it in front of me, but I'm gonna bring up the picture here for you to see. All right, here we go. We have the 30 Days of Night Spiral Edition. Yes, it exists. It's here. It's real. I clicked something on the screen and I lost you guys.
Are we live still?
Shoot. Hold on. You gotta love the live show. Come on.
Testing.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that.
Oh, goodness. What did you click?
I clicked on something and then I lost everything. And now I'm just like randomly clicking on stuff. Let's see here. Dashboard? Is that right? No, that brings up a website. Oh, Streamlabs.
This is great.
Streamlabs, you're doing. Oh, it's right here.
This
We
is why
good.
you
We're
watch
back.
us
Okay,
live.
here we go. This is what you come here for, comic fam.
Whew. Slight hiccup.
Unfiltered comic book themed content. All
They
right.
don't even care because you got the 30 days a night.
They're looking at an insane grail here. So what this is, and I'm actually I have it here in hand, but you guys can see the actual picture on screen.
It's real. We have it.
This is real.
He has it. I don't have this.
30 Days a Night. You know, if you're not into horror comics, that's totally fine. You know,
not
if you're not into kind of almost surrealism style art, that is what the legendary creator Ben Templesmith is known for. Also integrating some of the very first multimedia in comic books. I'm talking like Photoshop before Photoshop was really prevalently used. I'm talking like integrating actual pictures and then mixing that into the art and then adding a whole layer of effects on top of the paint and inks that he does separately. Like he's a very, very talented gentleman. This book, I've done a handful of interviews with horror legends like Brian Pulido, for example, and I've talked to many, what's up, guy? Many comic book creators who specialize in horror. This is one of those books that gets brought up as if it was Night of the Living Dead.
Sure.
As far as modern day horror comic book masterpieces. Hey, don't be biting me, dude. He's like, Butch gets mad at me if I don't touch him sometimes.
Bite him.
So he just starts grabbing my feet.
Bite him, Butch.
He's biting my feet right now, comic fam. This audio is going to be available on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and iTunes.
Yeah, you're getting some good content with violence and biting.
That's right. You can hear the cat sometimes.
You can bite me, Butch.
So this right here, oh, the volume is low. I want to hear about that. Let's see if we can fix some of this.
It might just be me.
It might just be Ryan,
I'm a
but you
low
know what?
talker.
I'm gonna raise the volume up here just poquito. You tell me, comic fam. I'm gonna raise the volume up quite a bit actually. It looks like our volume is coming in a little low. We're back. Okay, how's that?
And we're live.
I need a tell me how the volume is doing. This is how it goes. We're a little rusty today. Haven't been live in a minute.
Live in quite a while.
Just Ryan's low.
Just right. Yeah, that's
All right.
normal.
How about that?
That's normal.
Ryan is typically low.
I have to like swallow the microphone for anything to come across.
Yeah, speak with diction, Ryan. Come on.
Get right
Ryan
up-
is
right up
only
onto
one
it.
low. All right, that's good. How's that now?
It's just
Volume
how
okay
I talk.
to me. All right, cool. So we're back. So we're talking about a grail.
Ben Templesmith, 30 Days a Night.
Well, should we just start this whole podcast
Night of the
over?
Living
There
Dead.
you go. So Night of the Living Dead. So this right here is a grail for a lot of horror comic fans, a lot of creators. And one of the cool things about this is that the movie happened obviously after the creation of this, but this book did not sell all that well at release. I mean, it was like a 3,000 print count. They ended up taking it to second print post the movie because it was successful. And the rumors about this spiral edition only lived on CGC forums because members were concerned that it may not exist because there's none on the census because CGC has never authenticated one because they won't. At least at this point, because you have to assume that these grading companies are able to authenticate what they're looking at, and with no other opportunities to do so for such scarce items, they will choose not to grade certain things. So this book is not on the census because they've never had one, and if they've said no to it because those who brought it to them, they're like, we can't authenticate this because we've never seen it before. And that's what it's like with the the Hellboy insert that I've shown on the comic books buyer's guide. It's the same situation. A lot of people try to get that insert graded, and you can't because how are they going to authenticate this page that was removed from a marketing tool, the middle of a previews? So what we have here is the 30 Days a Night Spiral Edition. People did not know if this thing existed, and those who did weren't even sure what the print count was. And I had an opportunity to buy this, and I had to get it. It was definitely one of those things where it's like, if I don't get it now, I won't be able to get this in the future type of feeling. Members know how that is when it comes to Grails. This was a surprise for a number of reasons, outside of being able to get it, but what came with it. And I want to go through that with you today here, Comic Fam, because the first thing that I have to show you is that this was actually sent to PGX, who authenticated this and graded it. To each their own, right? Wherever you want to get your stuff graded. I don't personally get my stuff graded through PGX, but this had been graded through PGX at some point, and it was a 9.8. PGX, at least a grader, has looked at this and said that this was high grade. Feel free to put him on the floor if you want to, too. The cat.
No,
He's just loving life right now.
From the stray dogs.
Yeah. Here, just move off the table.
He's fine.
Yeah, but I want you paying attention to the chat and
paying
stuff, not the
attention.
cat. Comic fam, Ryan's trying to take a day off here on the mic just to play with the cat. Oh my gosh. Butch. See, this is what happens though. Then you play with him and then he starts to want to be part of the show. And it's a catch-22 because the show does better because more people watch it. But then
part of the show.
There's hair everywhere and he's cat. He is cat.
He's a butch.
He's a butch cat. He's putting his head down in the middle of the table. Okay, here we go. All that to say that this Grail came with so much more than just the Grail. And we have been able to supply the information to the internet since this purchase was made, which is really cool. So first off, you have this like acetate cover. It looks like it was something that you would, I don't know, do a book report in at high school, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
What were some of the book reports you did / like projects that you remember?
I don't even remember what I did yesterday, let alone 15 years ago, however long high school was. Oh,
Come on,
God,
Ryan. Did you have to do like a state project? Did you ever do that project where you had pick a state and do all this information and like reports on a state?
It was like Missouri or something.
You had Missouri?
I don't remember what state it was.
You don't even remember the state.
It was like 8th grade.
I know, dude. But how do you not remember the state that you had to
All I remember
learn
about
about?
8th grade was that like we invaded Iraq when I was in 8th grade. So that's,
I mean,
that's
that were some of the big things that happened when we were in middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah, elementary school for me. I was in 6th grade, I think, when that happened. But we had to pick states to do.
I never put it in a fancy plastic, acetate situation like this guy.
You've never used like one of these types of things to
I would
up your
staple it in the corner. It would have like cereal milk stains all over it.
Well, my mom would make me go all out, and
Your
she'd take me to
mom was cooler.
Staples, and she's like, "You need to get the nice little acetate thing to put your book report in, so it looks nice and whatever." Okay.
My mom
So-
did that when I gave you my resume at the bank. She took me to the bank.
Did your mom help you make your resume?
Oh, dude, she took me to Staples and got me like the $10 a sheet piece of printer paper that's like 6 inches thick. Like,
I've never heard this.
you're a big kid, Ryan. You got a big boy job now. You got to have a nice resume because you're working at a bank.
That's hilarious,
You got to
dude.
impress this guy who turned out to be Tom.
That's right. For those of you who don't know, I hired Ryan at the bank, and that's how we met. So your mom helped you with your resume, is what you're telling me. That's fantastic.
Apparently not my report on Missouri or whatever.
Yeah.
It was an M state. It was an M.
It was an M state.
It had a river.
Well, you want to know something crazy?
Yeah.
Something a little eerie is that my state was Minnesota, also starting with an M. Craziness. Who would have thought that both of us would have picked a state that starts with M? Actually, I don't even think I got to pick it. I think I was like really
I
low
would
on
not
the
have
list.
ever picked Missouri.
What's wrong with Missouri, Ryan?
I don't know. I don't even remember it exists.
You know what I do remember as far as Minnesota goes?
Can you
is
name
how-
all 50 states?
Yeah, dude.
Let's do it right now.
The Song of the 50 States, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. That's actually all I can remember.
Is there a song?
Yeah, well, there's
like ABCs for
there's
states?
there's an ABC for states, but then They Might Be Giants also did the Song of the 50 States, where they go through a lot of them. But anyways, that's actually
Back on track.
back
30
on
days
track.
a night.
We're getting back into
let's
it.
do this.
So 30 days a night. So this right here is the Spiral Edition, and take a look at this. It is the exact comic, okay, and it is something that was supplied to stores, and it goes through just the pages. I mean, God, look at Ben T. Damn it, he's so damn good. Like this was like
I'm a sucker for like police car lights in moody environments. That's a weird thing I enjoy in comic books.
And what's crazy, this is a young Ben T. This is like when he was just starting. Like he would only begin his craziness in comics and his ability to channel like moods in pages because of his vibrance and use of colors and inks and negative space, like making Mignola proud. I mean, oh man, it's so cool. Steve Niles, come on. But anyways, this is the book. This is issue 1, and it's in a spiral bound edition, but it came with something else. And this is why I wanted to showcase something really cool about Grails, and if you get lucky, certain collectibles. We don't know anything about this, right? Up until the last year. There was like really no proof on the internet. You can look it up. I've been hunting for this book for upwards of a decade, and I secured it last year. The person who sold this to me happened to have bought this at a really good time. The member who sold this to me, those of you who've been following the channel may actually remember who he is. And this is okay for me to say because he said he owned it on the mic. And where else did I get it from? This is the person who purchased the Marvel Previews 95 at 9.8 when they were still, to this day, under 5 on the census.
Is that the Miles Morales thing?
The Miles Morales preview.
You actually had him on the show.
Yeah, we brought him on in because he spent $2,000 for a book that people were scoffing at. And within a year, that book at 9.8 is worth over $18,000. So we're talking about someone who knows spec, and by and large, most collectors would view his level of spec as something that they just don't understand. Because he called that in a market where people literally made him feel like he needed to come on the mic to prove he bought it and say why he bought it because he had so many people, I don't want to say making fun of him, but like, I don't know, questioning, doubting, you know, like why? Oh, he must have so many of the, all these crazy conspiracies when, by the way, in the last year and a half, there hasn't been an uptick on the census count. So for those of you who are naysaying Marvel Previews 95, saying, oh, there's just going to be a ton that are going to hit the market. Yeah, raw copies, low-grade copies, but the 9.8s are selling for 10 times what he paid for it because they were scarce, and they are still scarce. So he had this 30 days a night, and he sold it to me. Shout out. Very happy about this. What I wasn't expecting is for him to have more than just the Grail in this pile. What we have here is the original envelope that was sent to the store when this was sent. We got the documents. Absolutely, Ryan.
Documents to prove our allegations.
This person purchased this spiral edition like years after it was created because he thought it was just a good purchase.
What year did 30 Days a Night come out?
Was it 2000?
Way later than I thought.
Yeah, mid 2000s.
I was under the impression it was like a mid 90s book.
No, it's like 2005, 6. I think the movie was 2006. I could be wrong about that. I don't have the dates.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right there. But this right here is the envelope that came with his original purchase. And this envelope was sent with this spiral to the original store owner that received it. Store owners who purchased enough of 30 Days a Night would receive the spiral edition from IDW back in the day.
Like a ratio variant.
Absolutely. So it gets even cooler because not only did this person, the store owner, preserve the envelope and send it to the person that would then sell it to me, he didn't like destroy the envelope. He opened it with care. So I have an envelope and it actually says the store's name, Philip Schwartz out in California, from IDW, Design Works LLC in San Diego. Like, it's all here. You got the, I mean, you're looking right now on screen, Comic Fam, for our audio listeners, you're looking at a letter that says, Dear Mr. Schwartz, you have a promo piece that was produced by IDW for 30 Days a Night. This was produced when 30 Days a Night was first published. Signed by the then president, Ted Adams. This is the original documentation that came with it. And it goes even deeper. Because what Philip would do, and there's a reason why I know all this, because I have another page here to read.
The documents.
More documents. Philip would find this at his store and wonder what the hell it was. So he emailed IDW in 2004, just 2 months later after this was released and published and sent from IDW, the Spiral Edition. That, again, we know nothing about. Until this day. I think this is actually the first time on camera anyone's actually done this outside of me doing it on Instagram. But on YouTube, I don't think anyone's seen this on camera, nor any of this information being validated beyond the information provided to Key Collector, because I did the video and then told them this information so we can add context to a collectible, because that's how we do it. We have to do the hunt. This is the email that Phil sent the store owner who received this back in 2004 with the response from IDW. Phil would say to his contact at IDW, I found a proof copy of 30 Days a Night with computer printed pages and acetate cover with the image on the top rather than on the bottom. The black plastic binding. I have not seen another like it, but on the inside, it seems to be something you sent to comic book stores trying to gain interest in your book. Can you tell me more about this? Do you still do this with new books? And about how many of these did you produce and distribute? Thanks, Philip. And thank you, Philip, for sending this email, because this right here may be the only documentation we know about this collectible, because thank you, Cindy Chapman, who was head of publishing at the time, responded. Let's show them the picture of this envelope first while I read you.
We're just going to dox Philip Swartz here.
I know, right?
Here's
Well, this
your
is
address.
back in 2004.
Hopefully you don't still live there.
Yeah, this is the store. Anyways, let's keep that going. I'm not trying to dox anybody. Whoopsies. Okay, here we go. This is from fan mail from IDW back in 2004. Hi, Philip. That sounds like a promo piece we put together here in the office for 30 Days a Night. We did produce some when we were first selling 30 Days a Night, though we don't know how many were produced. It was probably under 100. In writing from IDW, probably under 100, which makes sense with the 30,000 print count. We're talking about 100 of these.
3,000?
3,000 print
Okay.
count. 3,000 for cover A, or for the first printing. We no longer do this with new books. We may occasionally make a computer printed copy of a new book if we need to show it to someone before it's printed, but it's not something we do routinely. From Cindy. This right here means that within months of the creation of this spiral bound comic book, they would discontinue this altogether at IDW and stop doing this spiral bound stuff altogether. So this right here cannot be any more completed as it pertains to a horror collectible, a comic collectible, Ben T. Steve Niles collectible, 30 Days of Night. We're talking the Spiral Edition not only exists, but we have the data. We have the documents.
A nifty envelope to go with it.
And nifty envelope. What I got to hear what the community thinks about this. This is pretty crazy stuff. I mean, this is like the hunt. You know, I know this isn't the most common collectible that people are after. You know, there's a lot of people after ASM 300, you know, things like that. But this right here, for horror fans, for
Much
modern horror comic books,
Much cooler.
we're talking about one of the scarcest independent collectibles that exists. But hold up, I'll be sure to be bringing that next. Probably it is
More Grail,
scarcer,
more Grail stuff.
more Grail stuff to the mic in the very near future.
Tom with the goods.
That's how it goes. It's a huge pickup. Comic fam, what do you think about this? I got to hear about what your thoughts are. And we also want to tell you about this.
This? What's this?
This right here is the mystery mail call.
Oh, yeah.
ComicTom101.com.
Very familiar.
If you want to join the mystery mail call, we are in active enrollment for the September box. You got just about 2 weeks left to join. We had a tremendous amount of damages, Ryan.
We did.
Like it's a lot. But you know what? We have a lot of copies, and because we've teamed up with Whatnot, we do have virgin copies of this comic book going out at random. This right here marks our first Whatnot combo exclusive, but it also marks the first virgin Marvel variant that we have done to date, done by the very talented art director of God of War, Raph Grassetti, the Michelangelo of the digital age. And we also have Stanley the Snowman. You can kind of see it peeking out right back here on screen. We do include a children's book homage, a comic that's okay for the entire family to enjoy in every single box. We do have some really cool Grails going out. And without further ado, I want to also tell you about some comics that you can keep an eye out on. So, shall we hit them with previews? We typically do previews first, but should we do let's do previews first.
Whatever you want, man. I'm here.
Ryan, what do you want to do? I want to hear your thoughts. Fire guy Ryan's in the house.
Ryan started the fire!
We should just sing songs and hold hands.
Ryan.
I
Damn it,
can't
Ryan.
reach that far, but, you know.
You can't reach that far. Okay, how
Also
about we
can't
talk
sing.
here, why don't we do this then? Why don't we do this? We're going to bring this back, and what we're going to do is let's go through previews.
Let's do it.
Let's go through previews. Comic fam, if you live by a LCS, this is content for you to utilize and go to your LCS and deploy. If you have a LCS that you can order from that's in your state, then I encourage you to do that as well. If you do not have an LCS and you are not able to get comic books regularly, or you're having a problem, we'll give, it's kind of like a 3 strikes you're out type of thing. Give them a first
Sure.
try, a second try, even a third try. Really consider a 4th try. You support your local comic shops first. However, if you've extinguished all your exhausted all your options, extinguish like a fire extinguisher.
It kind of works.
It kind of works. If you exhausted all your options, we do have a way that you can join our LCS. My LCS, I don't own it. This is Russ, Mill Geek Comics. What's
This
up?
is where our comic books come from.
This is where our comic books. Yeah, this is all the stuff we're talking about that we have from our store. This is our LCS that we support personally. Ryan works there part time and handles your guys' orders. Ryan could be your comic book dude.
I lovingly handle every book.
You bag and board. You get everything ready. You organize it. You're behind the counter. Shout out Ryan, the fire
Shout
guy.
out me.
And we have an ability for you to join Mill Geek Comics shelf service. It's $10 a month. It gets you free shipping. It gets you discounts on comics that come bagged and boarded. And it gets you access to the previews pull list as well as the DC pull list that Ryan curates for the community so they can order things conveniently.
I do a lot.
If you see...
I really do a lot over there. It's pretty.
What else do you do, Ryan?
Sweep the floors.
Yeah, he's cleaning.
Sometimes Russ makes me wear like a banana costume and dance around out front.
Ryan's doing the sign. Ryan is really good with the sign waving.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
You know, I've only broken a couple windshields with the giant sign that I had to flip around.
What's your favorite move to do with the sign?
Oh, no, the helicopter.
You like the helicopter?
Absolutely.
Ryan does the helicopter
Problem
move.
is, if you do that too hard, then it flips, it flies right out of your hands and like into traffic. You know, sometimes that's bad. Sometimes there's like damage that happens.
Sometimes there's damage that happens, but it's
other
what
times
you do
it looks cool.
for the shop, man.
Right? Sometimes you have to put on the suit and dance around.
It's what you got to do, my brother. It's what you got to do. So what we're going to do here is show you things that we're adding to our pull list, things that have interest, that interest us, that we think you need to consider at the very least. So let's start them off with some Chip Zdarsky. Ryan, tell me about this.
That was beautiful.
Chip Zdarsky, we have Jacob Phillips. He's the son of Sean Phillips.
Right?
Is that right?
That's what I read.
Hot damn, dude.
I knew I recognized him because Jacob Phillips does color work, usually, on a lot of, like, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips do.
They're like a duo.
Might be my favorite creative team in today, like working in comics right now.
Appropriate to
That's
say
a subject for another video.
They may actually write some of the best noirs
That's not even in question. I would say
in
that's
comic
for sure.
books, right?
They're debatably the best creative team that consistently works together.
Oh yeah, He would give Ryan Stegman and Donnie Cates a run for their money for sure. Ryan will just,
They don't
whatever.
even come close.
They didn't
I
even come
love
close to
Donnie
Ryan.
and Ryan Stegman, but like, come on
I know.
now.
But I mean, as far as like the community's interest in what they've done and the accomplishments they've had and the title's success, this creative team here, Chip Zdarsky and Sean Phillips.
Jacob Phillips.
Excuse me.
Sean Phillips' son.
Well, I'm talking about, Sean Phillips is the son. Yes, Jacob Phillips, excuse me. That creative team is like unmatched right now. I literally buy whatever they have coming out in multiples because I know I'm going to be able to give it as a gift to somebody. It's that consistent. But we have his son, Sean Phillips, getting involved on...
Jacob's the son. Sean's the dad.
Son of Sean Phillips is what it says here.
Right. Jacob's the son of Sean.
Son of Sean. Oh, my bad.
There you
Okay,
go.
Jacob Phillips. I'm mixing them up. My bad.
I could have read that better.
Yeah, Chip Zdarsky and Jacob Phillips
Correct.
teaming up on New Burn #1. What do we got?
It's just a detective story coming from Image Comics. And honestly, I'm at the point where Chip Zdarsky does it, I buy it.
Right.
Like, he's one of those writers like James Tynion and Tom Taylor, where if I see their name on a book, I'm gonna order it. But I'm also just a sucker for noir detective stories. I like non-superhero books, especially lately.
You like mafia books too.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, all
Not
like
enough of those.
crime and
I'm a sucker for a dark, gritty crime story.
There you go. Debut issue, a man is murdered after stealing from his own mafia family, but they're not the ones who ordered the hit.
It's a new ongoing series.
It's going to be good. It's Chip Zdarsky. He's incapable of putting out subpar work. So
I would agree. I don't
consider
need
it.
much more than this to go off of.
He's able to draw.
I'm
well,
easy.
He's able to.
He can draw.
He can draw.
He's an artist.
Yeah, he is an artist, so that's actually still appropriate to say. But he's able to communicate so much character development, emotion, relatability in his narratives. It's why Daredevil is so damn good. You know, it gives you a whole different view of the character that you think almost couldn't be done by now because it's been done so often. But you need to be reading Daredevil.
Well,
it's special.
Hurry up, because it's about to be over, unfortunately. His run is almost at its end.
True. Get ready for that. Just like you should get ready for this, because we're actually going to talk about this next book here very soon. we got the 80-page giant Geiger.
This should be fun.
Dude, I love this. Like, first off, shout out to the 80-page giant look on this book. It's a $7.99 MSRP, Jeff Johns, and a slew of creators. This right here is going to have unique stories. It also has an extra, like, they're bringing something from the Geiger comic book that was kind of like what was it? It's just like a comic book.
Yeah, on the back cover of the first one, there's like a comic book in the universe.
That's right. Junkyard Joe?
Right. Apparently Junkyard Joe is getting his own comic book, like real, like spin-off comic, which I can't understand how that's going to work or succeed, but it's going to be previewed here along with a bunch of other short stories kind of fleshing out the wider universe of Geiger, which is, if you're reading Geiger, they're kind of hinting at some of the stuff that, there's potential for a larger world here, but we really haven't gotten to see a lot of that so far in the main series.
Absolutely. This is definitely one that we're going to chat about soon. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe, slap the like. Comic fam, there's okay, hold on. Okay.
Hold on.
I don't know what's going on here, man. I got to pull this up on my phone because like I'm seeing like we've hit like up to like 170 people. We need at least a 50% like ratio on this. Like, you guys are here.
What are you doing?
Hit the like button, like right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. Actually,
do you even watch us?
You know what I'm going to do?
Are you going to hit the like button? Oh.
This is what happens. If we don't get the likes up, we're not going to continue.
That's terrible.
There we go. Check it out.
Let's go to the bathroom or something.
I know. It's like, I don't know what these guys are doing. We're over here going through spinning fire content.
Together.
I just showed them a freaking Grail from 30 Days a Night. I got to see the heart. I got to see the likes. Come on.
Butch was here.
Butch was already made an appearance.
He left, though. He's bored.
Come
with
on.
us.
This is right. If you don't want to hear this song, which, by the way, it's a really good song, but you got to do it. We have 69 likes.
Maybe they like the song.
All right. Yeah. We're not going until we have 80 likes. So keep it going. Agu, keep me updated. You're here in the chat. I appreciate my wrench here. Hit the like button. Let me know when we hit 80. I don't care.
The mob boss right here.
We're here, man. I got all day. We got all this comic book stuff to talk about. We got some great stuff. We got giveaways.
I'm just gonna go do the mail call after this. So like the longer you guys wait, the longer it's gonna take to put the mail call together.
Exactly. They're only hurting themselves. All right, we're good. That's how we do it. Thank you.
Wow.
We need a 50% participation, comic fan.
Apparently
I'm not messing around. All right. So we have Geiger.
I wonder how many thumbs down we got.
I don't care. No, do either. Do either.
Either one.
Either one. I don't care what you do. But you got to do like or dislike.
Hey, Tom. Love me.
Yeah, I don't care. We need you. I'm going to keep you guys accountable. Someone's got to hold you accountable, comic fam.
I'm scared.
All right, let's do it. So Geiger, we're gonna talk about this in a second though, so we won't get too much into it. But I really encourage people to get this one book because one, creative team is stellar, and when you have so many different content creators that can be part of this, you're supporting multiple people.
My problem, there's a lot of these books that come out from like Marvel and DC that are like DC Halloween special, or here's a Joker 80th anniversary giant book, and they're just kind of like random short stories that don't matter really in the grand scheme of things. They're just like fun, out of continuity kind of short stories. This book is going to have a bunch of stuff that matters for the overall Geiger universe. So it's actually like important. And
it's got this extra that's like a crossover event. It's like it's not even within the same world. It's like, it's a comic book within the world.
It's very meta.
And I like it.
It's going to tie into a point I'm going to make about Geiger later, which I think Jeff Johns is consciously doing.
Uniquely equipped to do as well. Let's keep it going. We have Joy Operations. Now, Ryan, be honest with me. Give it to me straight. Is this happening? Is this on our list today solely because it's Brian Michael Bendis?
Like I said before, it's not that hard for me to put stuff on my pull list.
So fair warning, comic fam. If this doesn't sound interesting to you, Ryan only put it on here because Brian Michael Bendis is on it.
I didn't even read the description.
Ryan loves Brian Michael Bendis so damn much.
He's honestly, I love his creator-owned work.
Okay.
Ever since he moved to DC, his Justice League book, for example, is not my cup of tea.
Superman wasn't great either.
I liked Action Comics, but Superman...
Action Comics was fun.
I did not enjoy Superman. I don't enjoy his Justice League book. I've given it a pretty fair chance, but I do like Cover. I do like Scarlet. I do like the independent stuff he has done recently. And he is bringing his Jinx World imprint over to Dark Horse now. And this is going to be the first title from that new line.
55 years from now. Oh, this is Stephen. Who is this? It's Brian Michael Bendis and Stephen Byrne. Stephen Byrne, excuse me. It's far away from me. Stephen Byrne. 55 years from now, Joy is here. Can you read this? Because you're closer to me. Here.
Oh, okay, that works. 55 years from now, Joy is an envoy, a special agent of one of the Joe Nando Trust. I hope Ryan Michael Bendis likes this dramatic interpretation of his synopsis here. Trusts are corporate-owned cities that are the centerpiece of modern society. She rights wrongs for the trust. She is excellent, perfection, hard on herself, driven, almost legendary in some parts.
Comic fam, this right here is it's okay. That's enough. That's enough. She's gonna start getting fed information that's gonna second guess her job. It sounds cool.
It's Bendis doing like a futuristic sci-fi story, which is not normally something he does. So
there you go.
Whatever.
I know. Honestly, I would have missed this had you not pointed it out.
It's a mini series, which I love. It's gonna be quick. You're not investing into an ongoing. You're not signing your life away to Amazing Spider-Man and 7,000 issues of that book.
True. You know, and everyone who's potentially thinking maybe I'll pass on this. That's what people said about Naomi. You know, like you gotta give.
Book he did
it's another good
book. I keep
book.
Forgetting about Naomi for some stupid reason.
Yeah, people were like, "Oh, Naomi doesn't sound good," and then boom, CW, and boom is like one of everyone's favorite mystery series.
And John just made a good point. John's Comics for Kids haven't read much Dark Horse outside of Black Hammer. I haven't even read Black Hammer. Yep. I almost skipped the Dark Horse section in the catalog.
I have been doing that as well. And speaking of Dark Horse, we actually have another one to talk about here.
You can't skip any section in the catalog.
No, you can't. You got to make sure
even
you hit
Dynamite.
We have Christopher Golden, Mike Mignola, Matt Smith. This is interesting, man, because everyone knows I'm a Hellboy fan, Hellboy collector.
You don't hide it.
I don't. And I have a lot of Hellboy, and I've read almost all of Hellboy. But you know what I haven't read? The what do they call it? They call it something very specific. It is a illustrated novel, right? Yeah, illustrated novel. I haven't read the Mike Mignola illustrated novels. I'm not a big book reader.
So he wrote like a book with some pictures in it instead of like a comic book, which is pictures with some words in it.
Exactly. It's like it's the opposite of a comic book. So I own them. I have them. You saw, I have 6 of them on my shelf. I've never opened them.
Basically have a whole Hellboy shelf out there.
I know, it's mostly just Hellboy. But the thing is I like the comics, man. It's just what I don't know. It's just a lot of time. It's tough to do both, to be up on all comics and be reading books, like if you want to do other things in your life. So not knocking anyone who does. I want to do it more.
It's hard to do both.
Yeah. However, this right here is really special as a Hellboy fan, and for any of you who are into Big Red. This right here is The Bones of Giants, was an illustrated novel. This is the comic.
They're taking that book and turning it into a comic.
Comicization. I'm trying to think of a word here.
Comicization. That's not a good word. You shouldn't use that word. That doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean? They're taking the book and making it into a comic book, you know?
I guess.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way to say that. But yeah, they're making this into a comic book. So now, Hellboy fans like me who didn't take the time to read the entire book and all the different books that Mignola's done can now get a Mignolified comic book. 1 of 4.
Easy.
It's easy. I'm adding this to mine, and you know what? It looks great. I'm excited about this. Check out Hellboy dealing with some frost giants. Next on the list, you know, is going to be on here.
Yeah.
What do we got?
This is Hulk, number 1.
Ryan Otley, baby.
I do love me some Ryan Otley.
I love Ryan Otley.
I didn't think I did. I'm not a big Invincible fan.
How are you not a big Invincible fan? Have you read Invincible?
I've read enough.
How much did you read, the first 3 issues? Because if
no,
you
I read the first 5 trades or so.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you're in it then.
Yeah.
I have stuff for you.
It's a Kirkman thing. I've spoken here before about how I don't like Robert Kirkman.
Ryan's got this thing with Robert Kirkman.
I need to read Outcast.
Sure.
I need to read Oblivion Song. I'm basing I'm judging Robert Kirkman based off Walking Dead and Invincible.
Dude, Oblivion Song is fantastic.
Sure. I've heard good things about Outcast and Oblivion Song.
They're both really good. Dude,
They both ended.
Yeah.
Like early.
Dude, even Walking Dead's really good.
Nah.
The first 100 issues of Walking Dead is so damn solid.
You're like 4 times higher than you need to be.
I'm saying, my gosh, dude.
After the prison, I'm out.
Dude, that's like, oh my gosh. No, absolutely not, dude.
I will fight you on this one.
It's so good. What are you saying, Ryan? Comic fam, help me out in the chat. Ryan is giving me crap about Walking Dead. We're not going to spend all this time on Ryan. We're not even talking about... we literally, this is 4 times removed. We're talking about Ryan. This is what you get for the Bags and Boards podcast comment. Where are you getting this type of comic book themed content?
Anywhere I'm on YouTube, you will hear me diss Walking Dead.
Subscribe, hit the like button, And
I admire what Robert Kirkman has done for the wider industry
Right.
in a sort of Todd McFarlane sense, right? He's made good contributions, and his presence as a comic person.
he's one of the
helps
most
industry.
important comic book creators of our generation.
Stillwater would not exist without Robert Kirkman, so I
Oh,
have to
dude,
give him credit for
respect
that.
his name, Ryan.
Sure, I just
respect
Walking
his
Dead
name.
after whatever the issue they left the prison at.
Okay, well, here, I digress
I
because
want
we
to
got
see
Ryan
what the
Otley.
chat says, because it looks like I'm seeing a bunch of agrees.
What is that? People saying they're
Sick
sick
of Walking Dead.
Like but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking
No.
about issues 1 through 100.
100 is that's like half the run.
That's because it's more than half the run. It's fantastic.
I would go 1 through prison and then jump back on when Glenn dies.
Dude, it's
100.
You want to know what it is? It's like 93% of the run, dude. That's how much you're talking about. It's almost half the run.
How long do you think it takes for them to get out of the prison? That's like 3 trades.
It was really good though.
It's very good. And if you could just give me that.
Oh my god.
You know how they're doing these deluxe editions with color? I wish they would put out a nice hardcover of just
What about Negan?
the early stuff. Negan's
What are you
Negan-
saying, Ryan?
I think he made Negan because he realized, the governor was cool. Shouldn't have gotten rid of him so early. Let's just make a cooler.
The governor was freaking awesome, dude.
Governor was freaking awesome, and then they just kind of
Oh my god. Okay. Let's bring
Anyway,
it back in.
Hulk.
Fire Guy Ryan in the
Ryan,
house.
son of the
We have
fire!
Donnie Cates, Ryan Otley. We have Al Ewing departing from Immortal Hulk. It kind of feels sad.
It's time though.
It's time. It is time. He did his freaking job, man. He made Hulk cool again.
I never really
I
cared
said
for
it.
Hulk.
I said, dude, when was the last time you were reading Hulk prior to Immortal Hulk? I want to hear it in the chat.
I've never read Hulk. Immortal Hulk was I read
I tried.
Planet Hulk.
I read, dude, Planet Hulk was good,
Sure.
but I didn't care.
It's
It's kind of
fine.
like a lot of the cosmic stuff is not my thing as much,
Me too.
you know? So
Except for
like,
Green Lantern.
except for Green Lantern. But, dude, and the Whisperers was so good with Walking Dead. Okay, we gotta stop talking about.
I do agree. I do like the Whispers, but that's right.
We gotta
That's
stop-
right at that.
Okay. Guess what? We have
Are you gonna
George.
give them a giveaway for?
Yeah. Let's give a big congratulations to
Just make me
George.
pick the longest,
Say
most
his name here.
complicated
It's
names.
George Roman
Yes.
Niaz. I like your comment. That's how you get giveaways on our show, Comic Fam.
You
comment,
agree
you
with
participate.
Tom, you get a giveaway.
No, you agree with the world because Walking Dead, by and large, is beloved.
Sure.
And he's going to be getting a newly beloved independent comic book called Stray Dogs.
Much better than Walking Dead.
Also released by Image Comics, which, by the way, chairman is Robert Kirkman.
Uh-huh.
So he gets some credit here. His name is on the inside page. And
Really?
yes, yeah. He's like
Probably
the
just a mannequin.
No, my God, dude. I'm pretty sure he's like the.
I
he's
thought it
like
was Todd McFarlane.
Okay,
Like
Todd
Jim
McFarlane is.
Valentino and stuff.
Oh, he's the chief operating officer. Excuse me. It's Todd McFarlane, Jim Valentino's vice president, Mark Silvestri, Eric Larson, and then Robert Kirkman. Yeah, Robert Kirkman just leads a little thing called Skybound. Yeah, whatever, right? Doesn't
Stillwater
matter. to Ryan.
and Ultra Mega, kind of.
Here we go. Okay, so you just want to give away. Okay,
Good
I
job.
digress. We have Donnie Cates, who has departed his way from Venom to team up with Ryan Otley, who is now doing.
He's been off of Spider-Man for a while.
I was gonna say he's off Spider-Man. He's busy doing the. What was he doing in between that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't really remember.
I
But
missed him. I loved his run on Spider-Man.
I
the
think
early
he-
part.
I think he did great.
We're
Spider-Man.
getting way off
man.
topic.
I
But
think it's great. I think he does an excellent Spider-Man. I don't care what anyone says. All right, so we have Donnie Cates, Ryan Otley. This is cool. Like, what you gotta imagine, man? Like the pressure of following up Immortal Hulk.
how could I would be very scared to take that job.
I wouldn't take it. Like if
Right?
I put myself in that position, going like, really, the only person that could take it is Donnie Cates.
It's kind of like following anything. I was just thinking of Tom King Batman and like having to kind of like right the ship after so many people were angry at Tom King for
Yeah,
ruining Batman.
yeah. You don't want to like double down on that. It's like
Right.
following Scott Snyder.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah. How do you follow like such an important run like Immortal Hulk? Like
hey, you got James Tynion the fourth. You're gonna have to follow that up. Good luck.
it'd be okay.
Good luck. Good luck. Comic Fam, we need to pray to Thor that our titles are going to continue.
This Hulk book is going to be good.
This dude, I'm excited for this one.
I
man.
am mostly wondering how Ryan Otley's style is going to work on Hulk because I when I picture Ryan Otley, I picture silly, goofy Spider-Man,
Slick.
Invincible, right? Like happy, fun stuff.
Whew,
Yeah.
fun.
Like the excitement and fun-loving part of superheroes, which at least Immortal Hulk is not a happy, fun, uplifting sort of book. I don't
Comic
think Hulk
Fam.
is that in general.
I'm so hyped about this. For real, we have the Mad scientist. What if, like, I mean, really, the Hulk's narrative has been largely about dealing with the dangerous personality, the Brute, the Green Giant,
Right.
the Hulk, or Mr. Fix-It, or the various personalities. But it's always about the transformation of Bruce Banner. What if the person that we have to be in fear of is Bruce? Thus, we have the Mad Scientist, a completely different take on the Hulk.
Kind of reminds me what Donny Cates is doing, or recently finished, with Donald Blake in Thor, like kind of examining the alter ego and maybe saying, like, what if that guy is not so great, you know?
Right. What do you think about this particular cover, though? Because this right here has got me, like, if this wasn't Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, I would still be like, ooh, what is this cover? Like, I need this cover just in my pull box, you know? What do you
After Immortal Hulk, I'm much more open to trying other Hulk things.
There you go.
I don't think I might have ordered this cover. I can't remember what variants there were, but I assume there's some awesome variants for this book, which you can check if you want to by clicking that green button right there.
Let's take a look. Give you guys a little tip here. There's nothing there.
Nope, scroll up. There's a show variants button. That you can click
Oh,
on.
it's on, yeah, show.
As a variant person, I am very familiar with that button.
Oh, the Peach Momoko one. I've seen this one. Look at
There's
this.
a Momoko variant.
Look at this Momoko variant, comic fam. What? God, she's so damn good. I just still don't understand people who don't go, like, there's individuals, and it's okay to each their own. Everyone can have their own taste of, you know, art, but
I'm hit or miss with Peach. This is not one I would go for.
You don't like
Peach.
this?
I like her Defenders cover that she.
I think this
did.
is outstanding.
I thought this was Scotty Young. Looking at it.
Yeah, she
can do a whole bunch of different stuff.
It's a different style.
Yeah.
It's similar. Here's the thing. Scotty Young is known for this type of style. Peach can draw eyeballs being removed from someone's skull with the most grotesque vibes and art and imagery and inks and lines and pencils.
I'd rather have something like that here, though. Like
she can do both
stuff.
She can do both.
Eh.
But in this particular one, she's like, you know what? We got the Hulk reaching for a star, bringing it down. I think this is beautiful, man.
Estrella agrees with you.
I think this is beautiful. Like, not everybody's going to want it.
There's a star in it, though.
No, right? So anyways, pick up your variants. Pick up your issue 1. Donny Cates is on it. You know it's
easy
going to be
pre-order
legendary.
variants with the pull box system here.
Very true. Just like it's easy to tell if a comic book is worth adding to Ryan's pull list.
To Ryan's pull list specifically.
If it is politically involved, if it has
politics,
conspiracy.
Like gangster stuff.
This is cool. I feel like this is the a perfect time for something like this, because this is essentially going after the same crowd of individuals who are into Department of Truth.
This feels like Boom Studios trying to get a Department of Truth thing going on.
So we have, where is Lee Harvey Oswald's body?
That's almost like what the title is, too. This book has an obnoxious title, which is one of my problems.
Christopher
Comic
Cantwell.
books have too long titles. Damn it. Nice House on the Lake. It's mostly James Tynan's fault, to be honest.
It's so true, though.
Calm down, bro.
Calm down.
Something is killing the children. Like,
breaking news. Something is killing the children. Who are they? What do they want?
Written by James
Tynan, the fourth.
That might as well be the full title. What is the title of this book, though? Scroll up.
Okay, yeah, where is it? Oh, excuse me. It's regarding
the matter of Oswald's body.
Regarding matter of Oswald's body. Yeah, and it's done by who's this?
It is written by Christopher Cantwell, who is a writer I do like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that one. Art is by Luca. I can't read.
Casalanguida.
That's it.
Casalanguida.
An artist I'm not familiar with.
And this one right here is following a group of, quote, useful idiots who is there to come together as a team to deal with one of the biggest cover-ups in American history. What if the body that was buried, the person who shot president,
JFK, yep.
JFK, what if he wasn't the person?
Which kind of does tie in directly to Department of Truth, because Lee Harvey Oswald is alive in that storyline.
Right.
Lee Harvey Oswald, of course, was famously shot by Jack Ruby in the days following the JFK assassination, of course, if you're up on your history.
Absolutely. Ryan is. That's why you're here.
This book is. That's exactly.
That's why he's here, because when you're chilling with your homies.
There it is.
You talk about comic books regularly. But yeah, if you're fans of Department of Truth, Time Before Time, it's a off-kilter
Time
crime
Before Time, by the way,
thriller.
Is another book I want to shove down your throat soon.
Let's do it.
Once we, get going on the books we're reading. That's a good book that I like. We'll get to it.
There we go. We've had over 40 people join us in the chat. Get those likes up, Comic Fam. I don't want to put that music back on. Let's keep it rolling. We have Knighted #1 on deck. We have a Dark Knight Returns homage happening here, which just got me into it. We have AWA, which, you know, got Ryan into it. They're killing the game, dude. AWA, shout out. For real. Consistently quality comic books.
I've been saying that for a while.
You have been, and I'm glad you have been because
I love these guys.
People need to make sure that they're not skipping AWA on their pull list.
I am almost getting every single book they put out every month. I also love how on the back of their books, they put out every book they have coming out that month. It's helpful.
They're keeping you updated if you don't have a channel to subscribe to. All right, here we go. Who do we got?
This one's written by Greg Hurwitz with art by Brian Reber. Oh, no, never mind. Art is by Mark the guy.
Texeira.
He's from the 90s.
Texeira.
I know of him. I know that name.
Texeira. That's right. We have an homage cover, Heroes Never Die, and we have a hero that looks like Batman, but obviously this is an homage, and the never is crossed out because we have a character.
This guy, the main character of this book, accidentally kills their version of Batman. It's like a vigilante superhero guy who accidentally gets killed by the main character of this book.
Bob Ryder.
Bob Ryder is his name. And now this Bob guy has to kind of
take on the
job of a superhero when he accidentally.
It's like the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, right?
Okay.
That's basically it. Like you accidentally kill Santa, so now you have to become Santa.
That's the job.
This is the same book, only superheroes and Batman through AWA.
Well put. Also, hi, Jim.
I think that's pretty damn good, man. I like
that's
it.
That's a good analogy.
Oh, Tashara. Thank you, Augie.
I had not thought that.
There we go. So we have the Santa Claus. I'm a big fan of those.
He's known for Ghost Rider. That's what it was.
Yeah. Sabretooth Limited Series too. Yeah, he's OG, man. So this is going to be good. I'm excited about this. AWA
How
has
many
been
issues?
consistent.
This is 5 issues.
Five issues.
At the get-go, you know you're not signing your life away, which is a big thing for me with comics.
I love that, dude. If you can do a solid 3, 4, 5 issues.
Which is one of my main issues with Robert Kirkman, to bring it back to that.
Oh, my gosh,
Homeboy started that book and did not know when it was going to end. He did not have a plan, and he just kept going and going and going and going and going until it just stopped right at the end.
Oh, my gosh, Ryan. I'm going to make you read all of Walking Dead again. We're going to do a whole
I just did it last year.
Issue.
I just read the whole thing last year.
Okay.
So I can complain from a place of knowledge.
Happy birthday to the king. Jack Kirby.
A little late.
Yeah, just a day late, but you know what? We gotta make sure we say it. Jack Kirby, industry legend, creator. No matter how much credit he can get, is never enough. And completely changed the industry. And we have a very intriguing,
this book sounds
Fantastic
cool.
Four issue #1 rendition coming out.
I'm not going to buy this.
You're not gonna. Yeah, I'll buy it.
Come up front and say that. I want to
read
$40,
this,
but
dude.
I don't want. Yeah, it's cool. It sounds cool, but not cool enough for me to plunk down and dedicate shelf space to it.
Abrams Comic Arts is putting out this thing called Fantastic Four #1, panel by panel. It's $40, so I know some people made it. I like the oversized stuff. I like seeing the art for what it is.
Hardcover.
You'll probably see this on Cartoonist Kayfabe eventually, kind of thing. But I think this is a really interesting piece of content. It's the entire issue of Fantastic Four 1, the first Marvel family, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby goodness, you know, the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Girl, later Invisible Woman. We have the Human Torch, right? We have every page an entire panel.
Right.
So that's why it's $40. It's a giant thing because each panel gets its own page is what it's seemingly soliciting.
That sounds really cool, and I want to flip through this book. If you have this book, I will read it.
You can't show me big enough Jack Kirby art.
Correct.
Unless it starts to get distorted because you're stretching the picture, like the JPEG too much.
I assume they know what they're doing.
But no, this is probably as big as they can get the panels and looking as fresh as they can be. So I have to get this. I think this is interesting. Is it a hardcover or is it a? It may not be hardcover. I'm not sure.
It may not be.
It's $40. Sounds like it's not.
Better be.
But regardless, it's definitely on the pricier side. But I like to include some things on previews that aren't just like strictly comics. Like
there's a whole section at the bottom for trades, graphic novels, hardcovers. Those are worth looking at too.
Remind you, hit Mill Geek Comics Patreon. The link is in the description. Hit your LCS first, but we recommend Mill Geek Comics. Russ is a great comic shop owner. Ryan will be your contact to make sure you get your comics. He's the one who's organizing them and making sure they get to you on time. You don't miss an issue.
That's me.
Stop missing your comics. Pick up your comics. Very importante. And let's chat about some comic books that you may be able to score on the cheap. This is a fun part of the show that,
I learn a lot.
This was something that we decided to do kind of randomly, and then people seem to, the community digs it. Like we're getting enough response that it's like, hey, we're just going to keep it going. Comic books, as far as collecting, there's a lot of reasons to collect, something that you hear a lot. You'll hear Gem Mint say it a lot.
It's your boy Gem Mint.
He'll say, have the hobby fund itself.
Correct.
Right?
I've heard that before.
Right? You've heard that.
It's good advice.
I don't recommend putting your entire paychecks into
Do
collectibles.
not sacrifice your rent payment for a comic.
Comics can be pretty expensive.
Yes.
We're talking about Grails on this very show. This ain't cheap. But what I will say is, I've always done this, and to this day, my paycheck doesn't go into my comics. I have the hobby fund itself. I purchase, I buy, I trade, I grade, I sell, I trade up.
It's also nice because you can kind of cheat yourself. You can talk yourself into spending more money than you would if it was like your actual, paycheck money.
True.
Like, I flipped this book. I made this money. I can afford it's extra money. It doesn't count.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go ahead and buy a bigger book with it.
You do the work. I want to hear Comic Fam in the chat. What are some of the things that you do to make these bigger purchases easier? Do you guys trade? Do you buy? Do you sell? Do you save up? Do you do like layaway payments? Like there's a lot of different ways that people do it. But one way that is very common across the board is to purchase things that are cheaper with the intention of worst case scenario, being able to make your money back, or best case scenario, it moves up even a little bit.
I would say even worst case scenario, you don't make any money at all. And worst case scenario, you're only out a couple of bucks.
Yeah,
even if you can't flip it.
I think
you're stuck with.
I think the goal is that if you're buying just because you're appeasing yourself, hey, I happen to like Plastic Man. I'm going to buy this Plastic Man cover because I like Plastic Man. That's what we call buying something you love. We hear that too. Buying something you love means that you may cost yourself money.
Right.
You may never make that money back. That book that you bought for $4 may be in a dollar bin in a month at that same LCS. That happens.
All the time.
However, what I'm talking about is members who are trying to gear towards investment stuff.
And flipping and selling books and becoming like a dealer and moving comics. That's a whole separate side of collecting.
Participating in the community.
Correct.
Right?
Not just reading your books like me. Like you buy books, you read them, you put them away. You don't really sell stuff very often.
Grade them. Maybe you can put them into lots though.
Right.
And you can sell lots. That's
I'm
another
thinking about
form
that.
of dealing.
That's
you
the
know,
whole thing.
It's the same. It's a lot of people do it. So the idea is if you can score certain books on the cheap that seldomly are going to cost you money because you're doing some due diligence, just a little bit, you can at least make your money back immediately or have a shot of doing of making money off the book because it goes up $5, goes up $10. Some of the early books that I flipped when I started doing it more often because I wanted to get bigger books was like Vengeance of Bane. And I remember the moment of like scoring a really, really nice copy of the first Appearance of Bane and then going online going, oh, wow, this book is selling for 3 times what I paid for it. I like Bane. I like this key. I don't need a near mint copy for my PC. I would rather have whatever I wanted at that time. And I sold that Bane comic book and I was okay with it. And that wasn't anything that I planned. It just happened. And when you have that type of lens on your on the buying power that you're putting out into the world, you get lucky and those wins add up. And this next portion of the show is talking about books that you can add to your list on the hunt.
They've got to be easier to find, too, since these aren't
Yes.
your gigantic keys that everybody's on the lookout for. These are things that are cheaper, that are probably just languishing away in a bin somewhere that shop owners don't have the time to hunt down.
Literally on eBay right now for under $10. So keep an eye out for these in dollar bins. Keep an eye out for these LCSs. These aren't even books that if you find it and it's in the dollar bin and you go to your average LCS who's being a stickler about repricing their books, we're seeing that in the community a little bit more. Every store runs their stuff differently. I'm not judging. However, these books are so inconsequential that most of those stores even will go, yeah, $1. I don't care. It's not even like minor keys at this point. But when you see these, you're going to go, oh, yeah, it makes sense. So let's take a look at some of the 10 for 10. And big shout out to Octavio.
There might not be 10 here.
I think there's 10.
We didn't count. I didn't count.
All right, we have Young Avengers number 4.
Ooh.
This is a Kang the Conqueror cover. We're seeing so many Kang books spiking. And this one right here is from an underappreciated run outside of the key appearances. This book you can find in dollar bins. You can find for $5. You can find for near mint $10 right now on eBay.
I'm going to give some advice. I don't know if that's the right word.
Do it.
I stayed away from reading this book for a very long time because it has
The
the
title?
word young in the title.
Yeah, that's a lot of people did.
I thought it was going to be for kids. I thought it was going to be lame and childish and stupid and silly, and I stayed away from it for the longest time until one day I was just dinking around on the Marvel Unlimited app, and I decided to read it out of nowhere.
Dude, it's so good.
It's really good.
It's fantastic.
At least the first arc.
The
right?
first 2 arcs are great.
I only read the first one.
Read the second one too.
Exactly.
It gets really good. And
It's a really good comic.
freaking Iron Lad, dude. We got Kang. We got Patriot.
Not only that, they are setting up this. I don't want to say all of them, but as far as I can remember, every member of the
Kate
Young
Bishop,
Avengers,
Cassie Lang.
they're all in the MCU.
Patriot, Kang, Wiccan, Speed. I mean,
Hulkling, I believe. Hulkling, I
Hulkling,
don't think
maybe
is
not.
in the MCU yet.
we don't have a Hulkling. We don't have Amadeus. We don't know who they're going to run with. But
They are clearly gearing up for a Young Avengers something in
it's
the
a Kate
MCU.
Bishop, yeah. I think it's a Kate Bishop, yeah.
Right.
It's all here. It's waiting.
If spec is your thing, this is something I think is. I'm not a spec person, but Young Avengers is kind of obvious to me.
I promise you, if you find this for $1, you'll be in the money.
Even if you only just read it and keep it in your bins forever in your short box, this is a good comic.
I think that this is a easy pickup. It's a fantastic cover. You have Iron Man, you have Cap, you have Patriot, you have Iron Lad looking like he's not doing too good, and you have Kang prominent. This next one is Ultimate Comics Wolverine. Now this is a weird one, okay? So it's like, again, we're talking cheap books, and one of the fun things about cheap books is that even if things don't play out, worst case scenario, you have a fun minor key that's cool to have in your collection, and you paid $5. Okay, no one's complaining,
right.
No one's complaining. It's okay.
Hopefully, $5 will not make you homeless.
There you
Hopefully,
go.
that's not the make or break for your house payment.
This is the first appearance of Lady Kang. Now, there's been female Kangs in the past. Ravonna actually threw on the Kang wear at one point during the Terminex narrative, I recall. However, this Lady Kang is an evil version of Sue Richards, which is kind of fun because Franklin Richards in the Ultimate Universe is also evil.
Reed Richards.
Excuse me.
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, he becomes the maker.
Of course. Reed Richards becomes the maker. But this one right here, actually, I have a picture of it. You see the female Kang in this, evil Sue Richards, appearing in this comic book that goes for $4.
I also think the Ultimate comic universe as a whole is pretty underappreciated. Ultimate Spider-Man, I think a lot of people know about, classic Bendis stuff, but the wider Ultimate universe, I think, is just an easier way to kind of learn, like, the overall X-Men story. If you don't want to read 50 years worth of, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby back issues, which you should still, dabble with. They're hard to come by, and the writing doesn't hold up that well. I'm a pretty big proponent of trying Ultimate Comics.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you, and I've had more luck getting people into superhero comics from the Ultimate run.
Sure.
Yeah.
The old stuff is kind of, it's not for everyone.
That's right.
Not for me, anyway.
Absolutely. So, mind you, are we going to see Lady Kang? I mean, we've seen combinations of characters in
We haven't
Disney
even
Plus.
seen Kang yet.
We haven't even seen
We've
Kang
only
yet.
seen a variant of Kang.
Yeah, we're going to see variants of Kang. Like, we saw Jonathan Majors, like, playing with action figures, essentially little statues of, like, 15 different versions of himself. Look at what happened with Sylvie. Look at what happened with female Loki. Is it
Alligator
that much?
Loki.
Is it too much of a stretch to think that there may be a female version of Kang the Conqueror? And if so, what's interesting with Sylvie and the various versions of like when Loki occupied Sif's body, for example, those books, although they hiked up to a really high extent, so that's great for an investment if you sell at the right time, but they maintained at a level that was still way above what they were prior to the show, and it didn't even matter that they didn't resolve it and that we didn't get the full narrative and we don't even know where these characters are going, if we're going to even see them for over a year. So this right here is, again, a $4 book, $3 book. Look in dollar bins for something like this. And say what you'll say, but to a Kang collector, I think this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not a Kang collector, I'm not collecting a bunch of Kang, but if I was, it's an alternate version of Kang, and I think it's dope.
That's kind of the fun of the Ultimate Universe, too, is seeing characters you recognize from the actual Marvel Universe popping up and what new twists they can do on them. Like Thor's a homeless guy, a homeless drunk guy.
Yeah, right. They switch it up.
Yeah.
And guess what? When Thor, they called him Fat Thor.
Right.
Which is never a thing in the
They
comics.
honestly used more of the Ultimate Universe for the MCU than the actual Marvel Universe.
And this Fat Thor,
That's where
which is what
Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury comes from.
where it was deemed, that book spiked because of a type of Thor that they utilize in the movies. Now, did it maintain a crazy amount? No, but if you can find it for super cheap, it's like a fun memento. It's a fun minor key, and you never know. You never know. Ultimate Comics, The Ultimates number 30. This marks Lady Kang's first cover appearance. Cover art alone is stunning.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know what I mean?
I like it.
I think this is just cool. Could this be something in the future? I don't know. Probably
It's
not.
not even that
Maybe.
old.
I don't know. It's not that old, but it's a really cool cover. And it's Lady Kang. There we go. We told you here. What's up?
Do you think Lady Kang can go invisible? She's Sue Storm, right? Does she have
Maybe
both
she can.
time travel and invisibility and force fields?
I don't know.
I need to read
These
that.
are good questions. I need to run that one too.
I have not read
All right. Now we have a 3-issue trifecta. All right. This is one of 2 trifectas we're talking about today. Silver Surfer 106, 107, and 108. This is 106. I think this is actually going to get us to 10, actually. 107 and 108.
Oh, I guess if you count these as individuals.
Yeah, I'm going to count these as individuals.
That's fair. I don't think you and I can get on the mic and Silver Surfer not comes up.
We have to talk about our Silver Surfing warrior.
Right.
I love this guy, man.
Look at those abs.
I feel like I know him a little bit after our coverage on Infinity Gauntlet. I feel like we got to know a friend. He's a friend to me now.
Right.
You got a friend in me.
Goodness.
It's Randy Newman.
It is Randy Newman. Thank you, Tom.
There's a jungle out there.
Lord.
That's Monk, dude. That's freaking Monk. You know, side note.
Tony Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub. Yeah, dude. So
Still
over
haven't seen
here,
13 Ghosts.
people go, hey, I have here. Let me bring this back up. You need to watch that. I can't believe you don't watch that. So can you even see it up here? You can't even see it on the main screen.
Do you want me to move the camera? I don't want to touch the camera. Never mind.
I'm just going to take it down.
There
So
you
this
go.
right here, I've had people ask, is that your mom?
I wish.
Ryan started the fire!
Oh, Ryan. No.
Oh, Jan.
Is this my... oh, Jan. No.
I do like your mom. Not like that.
We're learning so much about Fire Guy Ryan.
We can cut this out later. It's fine.
So
not
people
like we're
go,
live.
is this your mom, Tom? I've heard that a few times
It'd
in
be
the
kind of
comment
weird if you
section.
had a signed photo of your mom in your
Looking
in your
like this?
studio.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Or in general.
In general, right? No, this isn't my mom. No. Who this is Jan Levinson Gould, but no Gould from The Office, of course, because we're big Office fans. But you know what? This isn't just Jan. This is Trudy. Trudy is Monk's past wife in the show, who was killed by a car bomb.
Monk.
And for those,
Oh, no.
oh wow, I'm just knocking over my.
That was a good catch, though.
I caught my Green Rangers. That's why I don't like to move the stuff. But for those of you who've ever watched Monk or haven't, you should. It is a incredibly good show.
I've shoved so many shows down your throat. I should probably watch Monk, but I know I never will.
I think you would. I think you'd like it.
Buffy's going to happen first.
Buffy's priority right now.
Obviously.
You need to you need to
Buffy's
read
actually cool.
Monk is like, it's special in my
Isn't he just like a guy going around solving crimes?
Yeah, but he's got like massive OCD,
Right?
A little mental illness, and,
But he's just.
But then his wife dies, and then he gets even worse. So he can barely function. So he can't be a police officer.
But he can still solve crimes and mysteries.
Because he's like able to see things other people can't. Dude, I'm telling you, dude, it's some of the best acting.
There's a
like,
Dharma Initiative.
There's no Dharma.
There's no Dharma Initiative.
If there's no conspiracy, Ryan doesn't want to watch it.
Right.
Okay, keeping it going. Comic fam, if you've watched Monk, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so we have Silver Surfer 106, 107, and 108. When you think of Silver Surfer, you think of Fantastic Four. When you think of Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer, you think of Galactus.
Sure.
You think of Fantastic Four, you think of Doom, but seldomly do people think Silver Surfer and Dr. Doom. This right here is the trifecta issues where we have the Surfer going up against a major villain in the FF run.
A 3-part Silver Surfer Dr. Doom crossover story.
That's right.
Sounds cool.
They have a relationship too. Like, don't forget that these characters have crossover moments in comic books.
Thought you meant like romantic.
No, not like that.
I'd read that.
I'd read that too, but you know what? That's not what's happening yet.
Got a lot of Monk fans in the chat, by the way.
Shout out.
Yeah, I feel
That's what I'm talking about.
feel a little shamed right now.
You should.
It's fair.
It's that, I'm telling you, dude, for a USA show, it's that good.
They made Mr. Robot Man. Like,
Yeah, they did.
That's
You
fantastic.
know what else is really good is Psych. I'm a big fan of Psych.
you are.
I love Psych. Shout out Gus. So we have Silver Surfer, 3 issues that go for under $5, and we've even seen it in this past week with Riri and Shuddy News. Their crossover books have spiked to all hell. We've seen people starting to invest in Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, and Riri's first crossover, which we talked about on this very show.
In this very segment.
This very segment.
Just saying.
Hey, so you know, we're calling some of these right without any real intention of like.
Can I make a weird off-topic point?
Sure, give it to me, Ryan.
Does he have a 6-pack or does he have like a weird 1-pack? It looks like a 1 ab, like a giant. There's no like lines in between his muscles here. This is a very important Silver Surfer on the.
Let's take a look. Let's figure it out.
Okay. I guess the silvery made it.
It kind of. I see.
He needs to be a little more cut, right? Like I need more delineation between the individual abdominal muscles.
Ryan started the fire!
I won't buy it just for that alone. Just for the funky abs.
I don't know, Comic Fan. What do you think? Are we looking at abs, or are we looking at like the
Like
Silver Surfer
I
costume
feel like
that
a
is?
xenomorph's about to come out of him. Like
He's got like
something's inside of him that's coming out in a bad way.
You don't think his abs are coming out? You think that there's something sinister happening?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Comic Fan, this is the Bags and Boards Show podcast
This
46.
is the content you need to subscribe for. It's talking about
This
people's
is
muscles.
We're asking the tough questions
Dude's
here,
physiques.
Ryan. You know, but look at this cover, dude. God
I
damn,
love
dude.
Doom.
God.
Like Silver Surfer is going to be cool in the MCU, but Doctor Doom, man, if they pull him off right, like that'll be good.
He's one of my favorite villains.
Absolutely.
Easily one of my favorite villains. Him and Magneto, Doc Ock, like, gosh, we got so many cool characters coming, and it just can't come soon enough. All right. What a time to be alive, comic fam. We're talking about Silver Surfer, Doctor Doom story arcs on the Bags and Boards Show. Just let me look at this. Look at that.
Spoiler alert, that's a Doom bot. Looks like a Doom bot.
It does, but it's, oh man, so freaking cool. Okay. Here, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going because we're not letting up here. We have another trifecta to talk about. What?
Ooh. Okay. Speaking of runs that nobody talks about.
How about a Reminder run that is largely overlooked and undervalued and underappreciated?
I enjoyed this. I read the first few issues after Avengers versus X-Men happened. That was right around the time of comics. I had way too many books on my pull list back then.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just, I ghosted my first LCS and I just stopped reading individual issues back then. So I fell off of Uncanny Avengers before this. But the first few issues I read of it were really good.
Well, you know what? There's a fantastic story arc that focuses on Kang here. And it is a handful of Kang appearances, variants of Kang. There's a plethora of them. Again, we're not talking about any like major spec value besides just classic. I don't even want to say classic yet. It's too new.
This isn't that old. This isn't even 10 years old.
Yeah, it's not even 10 years old. But just dope Kang covers. Keep an eye out for these in dollar bins. I'm literally finding these right now all over the place. We have Uncanny Avengers issue number 8, Kang on the cover, bada bing. We have Uncanny Avengers 19, Kang on the cover with also, you got Thor on the cover
Creepy
as well.
Spider-Man down there. I didn't notice that before.
Right? And then Avengers 22, Uncanny Avengers 22. So multiple Kang appearances. This is one of those situations when you're looking at a long box and you find Uncanny Avengers, you're looking for number 8. You're looking for 20. You're looking for 19. You're looking for 22. 8, 19, 22,
The
Kang,
first
Kang,
few
Kang,
issues,
Kang, Kang.
speaking of Kang, yeah, that's cool for Kang and stuff. But the first few ones I read were about the Red Skull. who,
That's
like,
right, which is great too.
After I'm a big Red Skull person, and after the death of Charles Xavier, the Red Skull like steals his brain and becomes like a super mutant, and they have to like combine some X-Men and some Avengers, and that's why it's called Uncanny Avengers.
Right.
It's a mix of both teams. It's kind of cool going after like Xavier Skull.
Shout out to Octavio who helps hunt down these comic books for us, and it wouldn't be a list that he helps us with if he doesn't include a Moon Knight comic book. He's our Moon Knight in-house specialist. Very excited to have him on our team because we got a lot of Moon Knight coming, and he's been very, very helpful. And I have not read enough Moon Knight, and I need to because everything I'm reading so far is.
I'm reading the new Moon Knight book that just started.
Yeah, Bueller did a variant of it. Looks
He
great.
did. I didn't get it though.
Gotta get it.
I got the Peach Momoko one.
Yeah, the peach one's freaking gorgeous. dude.
Occasionally, I really like Peach Momoko's books.
There you
I'm
go.
more selective than Russ,
Well,
for example.
Russ is like, oh, Peach did it. I need it.
Yes.
All right, we have Universe X. This is an Alex Ross cover, and this is a $2 book, dollar bin book. You can buy it for $5 near mint. But for a person who is into Moon Knight, this is one of those underappreciated books. It is a narrative that focuses on the life and death of Moon Knight. It just takes you on the wild ride of Moon Knight. And it's a great cover. You got the classic Egyptian background.
Sasquatch back there looks like Alpha Flight.
Kind of does, doesn't it?
Can't tell.
So this particular book is one that I can imagine members of the community that are going to come into our community when they see Moon Knight, because you have to remind yourselves every new show is a new wave of collectors,
Right.
new individuals getting into our hobby and our community. So
Welcome. Hi.
It's good to see you. Hit the subscribe button. We're chatting about Moon Knight, and we got a book that goes under $5. That's an Alex Ross cover that covers major moments of Moon Knight's history in comic books. Fantastic.
Magnificent.
Magnificent. How you feeling, Ryan? Is the Bags and Boards show.
Not as hot in here as it usually is, which is nice.
Yeah, I got it ready for you, brother. I got it ready for you. I want to show the community something fun. Okay, so check this out. Over on eBay, yes, I have an eBay page. Yes, all the sales are public on my eBay page. Yes, you can see it and you can support the show. Take a look. We got ComicTom101 on eBay. And what I like to do on there is do 10-day auctions. I start them at 99 cents. Where they end up, they end up. And a lot of the times they sell for super cheap because I'm trying to get comic books to the community at a super affordable cost. I got a lot of stuff on there. It's something I've been doing weekly for a while. You help support the show. We have slabs. We have raw comics. We have variants. Something's Killing the Children. Graded stuff. Cover A's. You know, a lot of fun things on here. Something I wanted to showcase, though, is something new that I've done, which is, and I'm looking for it as I scroll, something new that I've done. Also have some video games on here, apparently, which is exclusives. Sometimes I have an opportunity to do an exclusive, but it just doesn't really make sense to do a huge print count that the mail call needs. And sometimes, you know, it's an independent book or something that's like, hey, I like it. I just want to help support the team of creators and help sell a book. That's awesome. So we've teamed up with Black Caravan, an imprint through Scout Comics, to put out Count Draco Knuckle Duster. And this one right here is a Genovese exclusive. It was a 300 total print count. However, that includes artist comps, writers, letterers, inkers, creators. What I actually received was 250, and then 50 of those were damaged, thrown out, so we were left with 200. Then we brought them to the claim sale at the Gurus, sold a handful there, so now we have under 100 even available to the public. So we have 100 on eBay. You can get yours right now. $24.99, combined shipping offered. We ship in a box with care. And if you want to support the show, but also get a very low print ComicTom exclusive in the Phantom Star Killer universe.
Oh, it's like a tie-in.
Yeah, it's a tie-in. He's part of the universe, the Black Caravan universe. And this is kind of like the Darth Vader type of character.
I was thinking that, but I didn't.
Absolutely.
Didn't know for sure that's what they were going for.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like
the light bright on the chest, that's pretty clear. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, this is kind of their Mando almost type of character. He's
with Doctor Strange spells.
A little bit.
It looks like.
kind of. So Count Draco Knuckle Duster. Shout out to Black Caravan, Joseph Schmalke. Thank you so much, Peter Goral. It is a fantastic book. Like I'm really digging this because really, Joseph Schmalke, dude, this is such a talent.
Did he do Murder Hobo?
No, he did not.
Him?
That wasn't him, but you know what's funny? Murder Hobo is one of the books that I would be very excited to talk about on the mic soon.
We are going to talk about another book that is not necessarily...
Oh, we got some weird ones.
...for everyone.
We literally called this podcast today, Don't Buy This Comic Book.
Right, and we haven't even gotten
to
what
that
the
yet.
hell that means.
Okay, so Comic Fam, check out my eBay page, ComicTom101 on eBay, but you can also just hit the description and hit the link there. Let's talk about some comic books we've read.
Yeah.
We got some
do
dope
that.
books, dude. We actually had really good reads this week. I've been wanting to talk to you about Geiger for a long time. Oh man, we're talking about multiple.
We had these books picked a few months ago, back when we were going to do this podcast originally, and then
we took a little break. We took a little break.
Correct.
But we're back. Back. But we're doing it. Let's do it, man. Shall we start them? I kind of want to save the non-recommended one until the end.
I don't know what order you want to go in, but we can save that for last.
I think I want to start them out with Locust.
Okay.
Is the T silent? I don't even know. Locust or locust?
Those are both words. Locust is a different word. Locust is the name of a
Locust. Thank you.
bug,
That's right.
an insect of some sort. I think it's an insect.
Oh yeah.
I'm not an animal.
It's a locust. It's like it looks just like that. It's like a bug. It's like a praying mantis type of thing with wings, and it's no good.
Creepy.
You don't want to touch it, man.
Okay.
You know what's funny? I'm going to Rose City here in a couple weeks.
You are. I was going to ask you that.
I'm almost positive I'm going.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to go.
Maybe
I
you
was
can come
going
with me.
to. I was going to, but now it's all
Maybe you want to come with me. Maybe we can figure it out.
There's a big virus out there that turns people into locusts.
That's right.
That's not true. It doesn't turn you into a locust.
It doesn't. But in this book, it does.
In this book, it does.
Oh, this book is freaking wild, man. Okay, so we may not go. However,
I may not go. You can do what you want. I'm excited. I don't know yet.
there we go. Let's see here. We have Locust. We have a book that has such a strange a giant grasshopper. Thank you.
That's such a very that's a really succinct way to put it.
Yeah, that's what it's like, and it is
Creepy.
Yeah, it's biblical, and it's creepy. Okay, so this is what's funny about this book. For one, I read the first 2 issues. I'm still
Right.
waiting to
That's all I got too.
Yeah, I only have the
think
first 2
Milgeek-
issues.
This is on my pull list, and I think Milgeek stiffed me or something. I only got 2. I know
No,
the 3rd one's out. Maybe the 4th one is even out now. I've only got 2. So
I've only read the first 2, so
gonna have a
maybe
beef with
3's
Russ.
out.
I know for a fact 3 is out at least.
All right, Russ, what's going on? Ryan's
Right.
got to get
I
his
think
Locust.
he's holding out Locust on me. He probably thinks it's going to be like a big spec book.
Okay, well, hit him with the creative team, and we'll start with there.
Locust, written by Massimo Rossi and art by Alex Nito.
Yep.
Massimo Rossi, by the way, wrote another book that I was reading from Behemoth called Vietnam Horror.
And then the letterer.
Oh, yeah. Letterer is Mattia Gentili.
There you go. I want to shout out Mattia because they absolutely know some good lettering. That's actually one of my favorite parts of this. There's a lot of things I like about it, but the read is a lot of fun. Yeah, for one, the style of lettering for sure across the entire comic book is just stylized in a way that's pleasing to the eye. Makes it easy to read. I pick out everything, man.
You do.
I do. Okay, here we
I
go.
get sucked into the narrative too much to notice that sort of stuff. I'm a bad reader.
Okay, well, here, let's take a look at this because this is the thing with Locust.
Describe it.
The synopsis is wild.
The synopsis is a completely, what do we know?
Like, if you are reading this book by issue 2, you're in for just a somewhat violent dystopian future. There's a virus, there's post-apocalyptic, there's a dude who's got to make his way, he's looking for somebody.
This book is about a virus that turns people into crazy locusts.
Yeah.
Like instead of zombies, they're locusts.
Exactly. However, you read the synopsis, they give you way more. You actually are probably getting snapshots of what you're going to find in issue 2, 3, and... Excuse me. 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah,
right?
The stuff we read in the synopsis has not even been introduced yet. There's characters here that... It sounds nuts.
Okay, so
we're doing a bad job of explaining this.
No, we're doing a good job because we're going to hit him with what we think about, what we saw and what we've read so far, and then we're going to hit him with the actual synopsis to blow their minds because this is a Scout Comics comic book, and shout out Scout Comics because we're killing the game. So first off, dude, it's Mignola style, negative space, heavy inks.
Right, I love the inks here.
They know when to talk, when to not talk, when to put sounds, when to not put sounds. And there's a layer of it being almost friendly looking that contrasts with the violence in such a gorgeous way.
Not exactly like Stray Dogs, but kind of similar.
Yes.
I
got that same vibe, dude.
Not like as cute and friendly as Stray Dogs was, but it's definitely, the art is more cartoony than you would think.
Absolutely.
The violent subject matter would be.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Something I really appreciate about this book is that it unfolds in 2 different timelines.
Yes.
There is a present day sequence and then a past sequence. So you get to see part of how the virus, the outbreak of all of these locusts attacking each other and the downfall of the city.
Right.
And then you get to see the main character kind of on his own in an apocalyptic wasteland where like the opening of 28 Days Later when there's like nobody around and it's just scary and lonely.
He's we follow a character named Max who is looking for his elderly mother in this dystopian world, and he's traveling the plains. There's very few individuals that are out and about. It's definitely got the Walking Dead vibe, but we have to be careful with the people almost more than the actual antagonists and the villains like the locusts and the monsters. And the visuals, the color work is so damn good because it's so muted everywhere else. However, when there is color, your eyes just get drawn right to it. The focal point just... It's outstanding. Look at the blood. Look at the
If they don't
muted
specify
yellow.
the colorist, does that just mean the artist did it? Because it says writer and artist and letterer.
That's why I put the artist on here, because I think it's Alex. Yeah,
Right?
I think it is.
Okay. Alex Nito.
There you go. And you kind of assume that because I can't imagine doing this digital type of work, doing roughs and then handing that off to an artist. I could be a colorist. I could be wrong. But I feel like this is like just simple enough that a part of the role that he's playing is the color work. I could be entirely wrong.
If there is a different colorist, they didn't write it down in the book, which is unfortunate if that's the case.
This is what I'm talking about, the color work. Look at this. Like the palette that's
How
used.
do you describe it? Because it gives me like Hellboy vibes.
It does.
It's
It's
like
very
solid colors.
Mhm.
Is that the way? Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, it's muted. It's a certain palette, solid colors. Whole shapes are being used here, man. It's like you have it's instead of like really detailed, it's just more rectangles, right?
Did you get
backgrounds?
Did you get the image of the guy transforming into the locust in the okay, there we go. I was hoping you'd get this picture.
Yeah, look at this. This is when you know that you're in for something hardcore, right? You know, when you start seeing people mutate into insects. So the thing with this narrative that I find intriguing, but also maybe off-putting to some,
Right.
is that locusts are a biblical
Correct.
insect. You know, it's definitely in the Old Testament a lot. So this has a vibe of the mist a little bit. You know how they're in the grocery store and there's a point where they're just like, we have to just put our hands up to God here because
Right.
this is clearly
Okay.
coming from a deity, and they start getting super religious and in the
Culty.
path and culty, right?
Right.
These are locusts.
Yeah.
It gets culty. We have a antagonist that's worse than the actual locust to some degree, and they are a religious sect who believe that this is cast from the
Judgment
heavens.
Day kind of
Judgment
stuff.
Day,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're going to get to the synopsis in a second because it doesn't do it justice just looking at this comic book.
My favorite part about apocalyptic stories like this, and one of the other reasons I don't like Walking Dead, is that you skip the outbreak portion of the story. It's kind of cool about Walking Dead. I can't fault him too hard for that. You see Rick get shot and then wake up from his coma and everything's already done.
Right.
And you see the aftermath of the world ending.
Yeah, what happened?
I like getting to watch it happen. And you see Max's perspective in this first issue. He sees somebody pointing a gun at somebody else on the side of the road. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
And then the guy who has the gun pointed on him suddenly just breaks out into, he transforms into like a terrifying monster.
Right.
Right in front of Max's eyes. And he's like, oh, okay, the world is different now.
Right. I like being able to...
I appreciate that.
It's a good choice to tell the narrative between what's happening in present time, because then you have an opportunity to show way more of the scenery.
This is all the flashback stuff.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
The present day of this story is 2 years after.
Yeah, and it happens all throughout. This is actually a great example of that. Look at this, dude.
This was a cool page.
This is a really cool
two-page
page.
spread.
2-page spread where you're seeing close-ups of what's happening, but also just the entire city being overtaken by these flying monsters. It's terrifying. This is Wall Street. Crazy.
I also like this. You can see it real down in the bottom. There's a few shots in this book of cars driving
Yeah.
in the rain, and they will show the taillights kind of trailing behind the car. Really
Yep.
small touch, but I appreciate that.
And that's why, it's with purpose there. This is all muted in the back because you want the focus to be on these panels of like what's actually happening in the close-ups. But then those color choices bring your eyes down to see what's happening down here. It just adds such a focal point to it. It's just done with, you know that you have an artist who's trained here. This is someone who's been classically trained to do this.
Oh, there you go.
Point in
Okay.
case.
That's what I was talking
It's
about.
simple, but it's great. It's grotesque.
It shows that the
but it's
car's
beautiful.
going fast, right?
Right.
Is that weird? I don't know. I get the impression the car's driving really fast,
Mhm.
leaving streaks of light behind.
I think it's cool, man. digging it. So by the time you get to issue 2, you're seeing way more of the Locust. And we have to get into the synopsis because this doesn't, like, we could leave you with this. And this should be enough.
This is what we know from 2 issues.
This is all we know from 2 issues. There's a narrative that we haven't gotten into.
Sure.
But we've given you kind of the premise. Ryan, I need you to get... Okay, bear with us, Comic Fam, because this may be one of the craziest synopsis I've seen in the last year for a comic book as it pertains to the absurdity of post-apocalyptic Armageddon types of narratives. Because they give you a lot of information, and it's like wild.
Almost too much information.
Almost too much. But again, this is a Scout Comics book. A lot of people need to add this to their pull list. I want to get them to add it if they're into this kind of stuff.
We get books from Scout too. So a lot of times I don't put Scout books on my list because I think if I want to read it, I can just, I'll have the options to read it. We get the Scout box from them all the time.
Absolutely.
Locust is one of the Scout books, the few Scout books that is actually on my pull list, and I get it from Mill Geek Comics.
Yeah, you want to make
Except
sure.
for issue 3.
Yeah.
Apparently.
All right. Hit him with this synopsis because it's freaking insane. It's right here.
This group turns out to be a strange religious sect led by a certain Ford, a fanatical racist and former gorilla. Like, that's a gorilla fighter, not like a monkey gorilla, like an ape.
Yep.
We've met this guy Ford a couple times in like a flashback. In issue 2
he's the
or something.
leader of this cult, religious cult.
Sure. We kind of see before, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Max, living in this coven with his mother, will discover that Ford is convinced that this biblical-style plague will only be alleviated if the impure, meaning homosexuals, foreigners, and disabled people, are sacrificed. Ford's daughter, born from incest, is a disabled child, and Ford wants to offer her as a sacrifice to assuage. Is that the word? Whatever.
Yeah.
To assuage the plague. Max, realizing what is about to happen in the fierce community, saves the little girl named Stella. In the escape, his mother is killed, and the two try in every way to leave the city.
There you go. Isn't that like, it's a lot of information.
They tell you that the mom dies, by the way, which hasn't happened yet, so I guess.
Yeah, but she's an elderly woman. She's like dying.
We don't see her in the 2 years later stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of know, but yeah, it's like, all right, so there's this governor type of character from Walking Dead who's got an incest child, and he's also going to sacrifice her because
she thinks that's the way to undo the whole plague.
Dude, it's dark.
That's a whole different direction that you don't even really see at all in the first 2 issues.
Absolutely. So, like, fair warning, they're going to go there, but I'm also intrigued to see how they do it because of how it's presented right now.
Right.
Freaking comic books, dude.
It's a cool book. Like, I didn't expect all this coming from a book called Locust.
And I think it was also delayed. I think this has been
that's why I don't have issue.
I think that's why you don't have issue 3. And also, I'm sure that, delayed from COVID situations, which is also kind of like, this is about a virus and stuff. So,
right.
Fun. All right, cool. So Locust, check it out. This is crazy, yo. It's crazy, but I'm excited to see what they got for us in store. I'm all about apocalyptic stuff. So
I like it. Yeah.
Okay, so shall we save Geiger for the end, or shall we hit him with the one that we're gonna say we don't recommend?
Let's go with Geiger.
Okay, let's do Geiger. Okay, he wants to do Geiger. We're gonna do Geiger.
Whatever I say goes.
That's how we do it, man.
It's called Ryan Tom 101.
That's right. Ryan's in the house.
Ryan started
all right,
fire!
We got Geiger. So first off, this book needs to go on everyone's pull list. I'm going to hit you with the book that I think is a strong recommend. And then we're going to hit you with the book that is I'm not recommending it.
Proceed with caution.
Because you need to proceed with caution.
Sure.
I will never say no one should read this book because of my opinion. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm going to say about the second book, so stay tuned, is that I'm not going to recommend people read it and to buy it unless they are warned first of what they're going to get, because it's not for everyone.
Sure.
This book, however,
we didn't say that about Locust, which is apparently about racist and incest.
Locust. But the thing is,
sacrificing kids, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Apparently, but the stuff we're going to talk about in the third book,
I kind of have a Walking Dead threshold. There's some brutality, and there's some assault, and there is some. I mean, there's some major themes that are like, hey, this is mature. It's mature readers. Boys, for example, is one of my favorite comic books of all time. Also by the same writer that we're going to get into in a second. And I recommend Boys to a lot of people. But you know what? Boys is not for everyone.
No.
They go the distance.
Yes.
To say the least.
Go for speed.
That's right. Hey, that's a Cake reference. I like that.
Been hanging out with your dad too much.
I know, right? Shout out Cake, man. So Geiger, however, who do we got? We have a creative team. We got a powerful
Another one of my favorite creative teams. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank.
Yep, Brad Anderson.
Colorist is Brad Anderson.
And Brad Anderson needs to be applauded. Hot damn. The color work in this comic book is everything to me. It's just like bonus that the line work and the inks are so fantastic. They're just so memorable and so on point. And then we have a narrative that's totally fun. This is the coolest, how would you even put it? This is the coolest radioactive type of superhero since the Hulk.
Okay. I can see that. There's a lot of radiation involved in their origin story.
Absolutely. It's called Geiger.
I do like how this main character's origin story is kind of given to you bit by bit over the first. We've got 5 issues out of this book so far. I don't know how far you've read.
I've read through 5.
Okay.
I believe I've read through 5, yeah.
We get bits and pieces of this guy's background told to us over the course. It's not all just the beginning of issue 1. Here's how he became the way he is.
No, you find out like, we'll go through a little bit.
Sure.
But we're not going to give any reveals, so let's keep that in mind. But we have Geiger.
It's been out for 5 months or so now, so, hopefully if you want this book, you've already discovered it.
Look at the freaking textures.
Yeah.
Just take that in, comic fam.
Just drink it in.
Drink it in.
No, it's radioactive goodness.
Take that radioactive goodness in. Look at the color work. Look at the shading. I feel like I can like tell what that would feel like. It's like almost like a metallic. Man, it's so good. I love the palette choice on this and the art and the detail. Look at all the rocks. And when you have such a giant dystopian world, hot damn, it's good. Look at the moon, the stars.
That's a good point.
It's beautiful.
This is the same creative team, at least the artist and the writer that did Doomsday Clock.
Yep.
They had to replicate a lot of Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons in that book.
Not easy.
I believe they did so much studying that they have absorbed a lot of their tendencies.
They've absorbed it like radiation.
Sure, if you will. I think a lot of the panel layouts and just the overall feel of the art specifically in this book is reminiscent of Dave Gibbons and Watchmen.
Absolutely.
In terms of the way the words play off the panels. And I wish we had more art here to show and say what I'm talking about, but
look at this.
Yeah, you get to see kind of the book takes place 20 years after a nuclear Armageddon happens. And there's flashbacks to kind of this one family learning that this is happening and panicking and going into their bomb shelter, which they are very fortunate to have.
Yeah, you're seeing the moment.
Right.
You're seeing the moment.
But you're not seeing like the middle of them. You're not seeing like the president make the call, or you're not seeing like devastation of cities blowing up, or like you're seeing the edges of this kind of thing happen. You're seeing this is as close to you as you get to the destruction that clearly happened. But we don't really know why the bombs fell, or we don't know a lot of like the political reasonings. Yeah, we just kind of you get this setup and then you flash forward 20 years.
That's right. So this is Max experiencing destruction.
Max from Locust?
Oh, I just said Max. Excuse me. No, it's not Max. I'm mixing up.
His name is Geiger. His name is Tariq Geiger.
No. His Tariq Geiger. But
convenient name, by the way, but that's okay.
I know, right? No, we have. What did I put here? Yeah, the quote is: "Some name him Joe Glow, others call him the Meltdown Man, but his name is Geiger." Okay, so Geiger, he is someone in this dystopian world where people are having to deal with an immense amount of radiation. And he's just a badass in the future because during the time of the explosion, he puts his family into the hideout, the shelter, and he doesn't make it in there.
Right.
He experiences the Armageddon on the outside, and it ain't good. However, it like turns him into a superhero.
We find out in the following issues that he had cancer and he was undergoing some sort of experimental radiation treatment. Mm-hmm. And whatever he was treated with, combined with the immense radiation he received while being outside during a nuclear explosion, sort of combined to kind of make him not immune. He's able to walk around in the post-apocalyptic wasteland with no suit. So
right.
he's clearly not as affected by radiation as other people are. And he's got this weird sort of nightstick mechanism in his back.
Yep.
where you pull out these sticks and suddenly he turns into like a Ghost Rider radiation looking dude.
Yep, let's actually give him a shot of it. Bada bing.
There we go.
So he pulls it out, and this is like he like activates it. You know, he pulls it out the rods that he attacks with, and then his eyes glow up, and this is why the color work begins to be so important because
Correct.
visually stunning. What a cool looking character. No trespass.
I got the glow in the dark cover by the way.
Yeah, we do have a glow in the dark cover here today, and I
Issue
think
1 had a glow in the dark variant.
I actually have the.
I sent Tom a little demonstration last night.
He got so excited. Here,
I
actually,
hadn't tried it out before. I was reading this to prep for the show, and I decided to finally charge up the glow in the dark cover with some light, turn the light off, and I got a little excited.
Oh, where is it? Is it not here? Ah, shoot, I don't have it here. No, I'm gonna get it right now. Keep talking about Geiger. Just give me a second.
Do you want me to send it to you again?
No, I got it. I'll get it here. Just
So he's got his family in this bomb shelter, so he kind of builds a fortress, sort of, around this shelter to kind of protect his family and wait for the air to sort of clear out enough for him to feel safe to open the door.
you're in a constant state of wanting to know, like, what's going on with his family in there.
Right? Is he okay?
Is he okay?
Is he mentally okay? Because he's...
It's
I
not.
wouldn't be able to not open the
It
door.
doesn't
like,
seem good.
yeah.
Whatever it is, it doesn't seem like it's okay. So let's see here. Can I do this right?
Is there sound? Because there is sound.
Yeah, but we're bringing this up to. See, I can do this. This is risky business. I don't like this. Hold on. I'll keep it going. But yeah, like you're in a constant state of like not knowing what exactly is going on with this guy and what's going on with his
family.
With his family. Like you just know that he's doing everything for his family that's down there. It's been 20 years and what? They're just like chilling in there?
They're chilling in the bomb shelter, I guess. That's his hope.
Would you say that they're chilling with their homies?
In the bomb shelter?
In the bomb shelter? Okay, check us out here. Okay, so take a look at
This
this.
is the glow in the dark variant. What's happening? So confused.
I don't like how that is. All right, 1 second.
We prepared for this show so much.
Can I just save this? Oh, I can save it. There we go.
Okay. Comic books. You have the strangest names for your folders. Oh, hey.
They can't see any of this. I'm just making sure like
Nobody
I'm just
can
going
see
through
this.
pictures here.
Oh, this is everything we sent each other.
That's why I'm
It
like,
looks
all
like-
right, I don't want it to, because we have stuff that we haven't released yet. So I want to make sure I'm going through the file of.
Scotch tape.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. All right, this is worth it, comic fam. Oh, it's god damn it. Okay, so it's not there. All right, well we're good now. So I know for sure
we?
that these are all safe. So let's just bring this up. Take a look at this. Oh, do I have sound? Ryan sent me this last night. Look at this, comic fam.
A
This
little,
is
little
pretty cool.
excited.
Watch this. Come on.
Got that glow in the dark variant. Oh yeah.
It's totally worth it. Totally
glow in
worth
the dark
all the
variant.
time it took. I never tried it before. I was
That's why-
excited. It
that's-
looks good. It
let
looks
me
way
see it.
better than I
Glow in the
thought it
dark
would.
variant.
Dude, that is freaking hilarious, Ryan. Right here.
Oh yeah.
It's the power, man.
It's Ryan getting all excited about glow in the dark
I
comic book.
don't think I have any other glow in the dark.
That
covers.
is really cool, man. Glow in the dark.
I like it.
I like it. I like it a lot. So, Geiger is definitely a
Anyway,
recommendation.
Geiger, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic book.
We
Interesting.
have not explained it well enough. We
I-
should totally just read all 5 issues live on camera.
We could get away with it, but there's a fun character, the bad guy. He's a kid. He's kind of got the
Joffrey.
vibes.
That's what I was
Because
thinking.
really, there's been an entire city that's emerged since the Armageddon, and the city's located in Las Vegas.
That's maybe my favorite part of this whole, at least the whole first issue, is like
Right.
it gives you the story of this guy and his family and the flashbacks, and you're kind of thinking like, okay, this is gonna be like just a personal story about
Right.
this one guy's struggle, and then it zooms out and you see that he is just outside of Las Vegas, and there is a whole post-apocalyptic civilization in there that is based around like all these different gangs that are kind of running all the different casinos in Vegas,
different factions, and
which is
groups.
going to be explored in more detail in the giant size Geiger special we were just talking about. They're going to go into some of these different groups that we really haven't gotten to see a lot of.
That's right, Comic Fam.
In the main storyline.
I recommend this story. It's worth going through just to find out some of the questions that are posed in the first issue. How is this guy even surviving? How does he have these powers? Why does he look the way he does? How is he as skilled as he is? What's going on with his family in his bunker?
Yeah.
You know?
We get answers to some of those questions sooner than you might think, too.
That's right. Really, really enjoying that book. Now, this next one, Marjorie Finnegan.
Correct.
So we decided that we were going to read this book because, hey, it's Garth Ennis. It sounds funny.
It's AWA.
That's
the
AWA.
reason I got on board.
Now, here's the thing about this comic book. There is, with absolute certainty, will piss off at least 50% of the people who read it if they go into it just with, hey, I just want to try out a comic book, and they're just a random person.
Right.
Then, separately, there's other things that happen in here, political things, religious things, that are going to piss off, guaranteed, 70%, maybe an additional 20%. Like the pie is, some of these are going over.
A little overlap.
The complaints will cross over to some.
Some people will be politically and religiously offended.
Yeah, there's going to be both.
Right.
You're covering all your bases because this is Garth Ennis.
This is Garth Ennis.
That's what Garth Ennis does, yo.
He's a little gross, if you will.
He pushes the boundaries. He's always done it. And
The Boys.
yeah, he did.
Punisher.
He did Da Boys.
Preacher?
Yes.
Correct? I still haven't read that.
Of course.
I got to read Preacher.
Of course. I mean, it gets out there. And look at this. We have Marjorie Finnegan, temporal criminal. Time is on her side.
This is a very wacky time travel story about a girl who travels through time, whose main objective is really just to steal stuff and have fun and collect treasure.
Dude, it's Garth Ennis writing a comedy.
Yeah.
It's funny to some people.
If you have the right sense of humor coming into it, if you know what you're getting into before you even start, I think you'll be okay.
My opinion.
Right.
I was laughing.
As was I.
We were chatting, and we were busting a gut and going, this is going to piss so many people off. So,
Fair warning.
I'm giving you a fair warning. Do not buy this comic book off of my recommendation because I do not want to be the one blamed
Sure.
for you being offended. But you know what?
Not everyone will like this book.
Not everyone. That's all we can say is this is Garth Ennis. Who else is this, though? It's not. It's a lot more than Garth Ennis. We have it right
I
here.
have such a hard time pronouncing this
Boom.
artist.
I know it's Garth Ennis.
Goran
Goran
Sudzuka?
Zuduska.
And the inker is Miroslav Mirva.
Mirva.
Oof.
So, give you kind of a taste. So first off, you're seeing all of these different figures in history. You have Hitler in the back. You have Genghis Khan. You have an Egyptian pharaoh.
Kind of like a Bill and Ted sort of thing.
Yeah, I know.
Not
Right?
as,
Mona
not
Lisa's
as
right
lighthearted.
here.
You can clearly see all the treasure and stuff she has just snatched up from her adventures through time.
There's a guy named Tim, right? I think that's his name.
His name is Tim.
And he's just a floating head.
He's an ex-boyfriend of hers who is just a severed head who is somehow still...
He's hooked up to machinery so he can be
He's
around.
like her man in the chair.
and
except
she's
he's
like,
just a
we're going to
head.
get you a body one day, but it's not a priority right now.
Just hang on.
Just hang on,
I'll get
yeah.
you set up for some kind of future tech, but not really.
Okay, so let's see here. I'll give you some perspective. We start out in ancient Egypt, and they're about to start doing some sacrificing.
It's a big funeral of like the pharaoh, and
That's
this
right.
guy is going through this priest guy is going through this whole big monologue about how, oh, wise great pharaoh, we are, we're here today to send you into the great beyond, and we have collected a whole bunch of your treasures and a whole bunch of your servants and concubines, and we're gonna bury you with all your gold, and then we're gonna slit the throat of all your servants so they can follow you into the afterlife.
And she is one of these slaves, pretending she's a slave.
She's dressed
so
up
she
as
can,
one of these.
So she can get in there and steal some stuff, not
You can
realizing
see her
that
right there. She's got like you can see her greedy eyes, like just eyeballing this. Like,
eyeball on the gold. The expressions in this
stack
book.
of gold. Yeah, the faces are
The
great.
faces are like what brings this all in, man.
Yeah.
She's seeing the gold, and she's not realizing that they're going to sacrifice the slaves.
She
She's
thought
like,
they were just gonna seal them all up in a tomb and let them suffocate and starve to death over
Yeah.
time, which would give her time to get the loot and just time travel out of there.
That's right. So she immediately breaks up the situation. This isn't one of those, we need to preserve the timeline and not mess up anything. No, on the contrary, Garth Ennis has some brilliant ideas to make time just work because it's comic books. And
so she kind of stops the guy in the middle of his speech and like, wait, hold on. You're just going to you're going to slit our throats. Like, I thought we were just going to, this isn't going to work. I don't want to steal all this stuff. So she pulls out a shotgun.
It's like an AK-47.
Right.
She's like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. And she just starts mauling him down to steal the Egyptian treasure.
So she can escape with her life.
So this right here is, I would say, rather tame in what we see in the narrative of our temporal thief. Because there are other individuals who are traveling through time. There's also individuals who are monitoring the timeline, the police force, like a TVA.
Almost, yeah.
A little bit. However, this is all I can show. Because really beyond this, between the language, the nudity, the jokes about sex, as well as the political and religious, because this is a character that's traveling through time, dealing with things like biblical individuals, dealing with political individuals. I think my favorite thing was her stealing the limo of JFK.
She jumps back to the day JFK gets assassinated and hijacks the limo after he gets his head blown off.
It's so terrible.
She's just kind of like joyriding away with Jackie Kennedy in the back, like screaming and crying, and all the Secret Service guys chasing after her.
It's so terrible.
It's one panel, and it's just like, it kind of gives you a sense of the horrible yet kind of darkly humorous stuff that she gets up to in her time travels.
Okay, so again, I cannot stress enough, this comic,
Be warned.
Be warned. Seldomly do we bring a book. This is actually the first time I've ever been like, I'm not going to shy away from a comic book. You know, I'm not going to just like not, oh, this is too mature for the community. Like they can't handle, I'm not going to do that. Like, you guys are adults by and large.
Hopefully.
Hey, our analytics say like 99%, a lot of you are dudes. And like it's like 98% male.
Not care.
Now that's all, hey, we're for everyone.
Eyeballs are eyeballs.
Eyeballs is like 98% male. And then we have, it's like mostly between the ages of 26 through 55.
That's us. At least that's me.
And we're right in the middle there. So like, hey, you're adults here. This is an adult comic book. I'm letting you know. But if you're younger than 18, this ain't for you.
No.
And if you are even slightly prone to being offended by literature, then this isn't for you either.
Right.
So anyway.
There's a not safe for work cover that I did manage to pick up.
Dude,
however.
okay, who did cover A? Was that also Gary Frank?
I'm not sure.
Hey, let me see. Because dude.
This one.
Yeah, because you know who did a friggin' cover is Frank Cho.
I got the Frank Cho variant.
Look at this Frank Cho.
Of course I did.
So damn good. Frank Cho did it. I love Frank Cho, man. God, he's so good.
Andy Clark did this.
Andy
cover
Clark.
Art.
Okay, there you go.
Did this cover art of her
Andy
in jail with Velociraptor, also in jail.
What's your cover A? Oh, you don't have cover A.
This is cover A. The other ones, I got a cover B by Dan Panosian, and then I got a cover B of the naughty Roman orgy variant.
That's right. She goes to Roman time, has to deal with some stuff.
It's a lot of fun. It's a great book.
Oh my gosh, comic fan, we got to hear
like
your
it,
thoughts about
anyway.
mature comic books in the comment section below. We got to give a big thank you to RN. RN said, you know what?
Name I've ever written down.
RN said, you know what? All this warning has made me actually want to read the comics. So if you end up reading it and you get upset, know that we're going to send you this Stray Dog sign.
Much happier, friendly, family-friendly book.
That's
of course. Look how cartoony and friendly everything looks. And safe it is.
It's not, though. But we have signed by the color flattener Ren. We appreciate you. Hit the link in the description. Like and subscribe to the video.
Real quick.
What's up?
I don't like to refer to myself as a speculator, as you know.
Sure.
But we talked about Chariot before.
Yeah.
From AWA.
Yes.
I am a little optimistic about that doing well. And if that does well, I think other books from AWA might be on the table as potential.
Do you think Marjorie could be picked up? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I could see Marjorie Finnegan being a very fun Rick and Morty style cartoon.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if they could get away with that, man.
I don't know what platform they would put it on.
Hey, if you could do The Boys, which is also Garth Ennis.
You could do The Boys, and The Boys is The Boys is dark and violent and like aggressive and mean and brutal. And this is, for as messed up as this book gets, it's lighthearted and it's funny.
That's right.
if you have the right sense of humor.
I'm freaking dying that you said that.
I would very much like to see a Marjorie Finnegan animated series of some sort. This is also the longest book that AWA has done. They do a lot of 4, 5, 6 issue miniseries. This one is going to be 8 issues. We're halfway done. Issue 4 just dropped. So if you want to get on this book, you still got time.
Comic fam, I want to hear your thoughts today. We appreciate your time. You just listen to the Bags and Boards podcast number 46. We have officially hit 2 hours, comic fam. It's crazy. But where are you getting this kind of comic book theme content? Make sure to stay tuned. We have more stuff coming. We have Skeleton Key Sammy coming up to visit our location. She's going to be on camera doing content with us this coming weekend.
She'll be here?
She's coming here, man. She's flying up.
That's exciting.
She's going to go see the mail call.
People don't come here.
I know, it's crazy.
We're not that cool. Yeah, I'm cool.
Remind you guys of our exclusive on my eBay page. Take a look at the dual Whatnot Comic Tom exclusive Ralph Grassetti Wolverine cover that we're going to be putting 1 per box. Trade dress or virgin, not both. They're going out at random. ComicTom101.com. Remind you can join Milgeek Comics Patreon to get access to being able to order and never miss your comics again. You just listen to the Bags and Boards podcast.
Well done, you.
We done.
Good job.
It's over. We're finished.
Thank goodness.
Congratulations to the winners and have a great week. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.